Greetings and salutations and all that good stuff. I am John Campia. Just kidding. I'm Tom Connors, and with me today is Culture Casino. How you doing?
Hey everybody! Greetings. I'm doing well. I'm excited. No, I can't say I'm excited. I'm a little irritated. I think a lot of people might be irritated. I think, yeah. But I did enjoy the trailer before the live stream. We were actually just talking about that. It's very cool.
The He-Man thing.
Yeah, I love that. It's one of my favorite bits.
Dusted it off. And also joining us today is Mr. Grant Gregory. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good. I'm happy to be here. I'm glad everyone else didn't show up, so I got a spot. So, awesome.
Well, that's just the way it rolls sometimes. But no, like Script Doctor is still not up to snuff yet, and Mike, of course, it's in the middle of tax season, so that's why he's not with us tonight. He will try to hop in, but I don't think he's going to probably make it the way it sounded. But that's all right. The stuff we got to talk about, culture, I think, and I got under control pretty well anyway. And I'm sure Grant will have plenty to add to the mix as well. So I'm glad to have you here. And Grant recently has been editing some videos over on the main channel for us. So that's been cool.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Most recently, he did Andre's Sonic 2 review.
Yeah.
His review made me definitely book my tickets to go see it. So,
all right.
Yeah, Andre says something's good, especially like that. I mean, he's dead inside.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
That's what surprises me the most with it when I was reading through the script.
That's
and everything,
the equivalent
and I went, okay.
of the Grinch's heart growing.
Well, I thought it was like a double rainbow,
or that.
You know, the Grinch didn't grow double rainbows.
I really wish we had Valiant Renegade here today.
Oh, VR would be great.
VR would be really great to have on the show, but he hasn't shown up lately. He hasn't been showing up for 4K for you. I don't know what he's been doing lately. He's been so damn busy.
He's got kids.
I never know what the hell he's up to.
He's just got kids.
Yeah, I know. Me neither.
Shoot. There's Valiant.
I saw him in the back. Of course. Welcome, Valiant Renegade. The man I was hoping would show up for this because I got these two guys here between me. And me and Grant can just kick back and let them handle it, I think.
Oh, let me tell you, if you guys didn't catch VR, you dropped a wonderful video, part 2 of your time with WDW Pro.
There's 4 of them now.
Oh, is it? Oh, well, okay. Then I'm 2 behind, or I missed a couple. But
yeah, I had the one Tuesday was the Disney Civil War, which pertains to all this, and today was his retrospective on killing Star Wars.
Awesome. Don't spoil part 3. I'm only up to part 2. It ended on a cliffhanger, so.
Oh, boy.
But, so and we've been actually back and forth. I was just texting with him a few minutes ago, kind of talking about all this. So
yeah. And the Civil War, speaking of, has reached a fever pitch of sorts, we could say.
Yeah. Everybody bear in mind, these videos are still from, a couple of weeks ago before a lot of the other side, like we saw in the last couple of days, where the more public backlash started coming out. And then everybody keep that in mind in context as we go through this tonight.
Yeah, because for those who don't know, this has been an interesting day over at Disney. Let's just say this entire can we say that this may be the final stage, the final act of this? Can we hope? Can we believe that maybe my thumb that I used for today is fairly accurate, that not only Disney's going to fall and crumble under this pressure, but the woke will too? For those who didn't see it, I'll pull it up here.
I think it could. Yes. I think it definitely could. It all depends on how much the quote unquote silent majority stops being silent. And that has always been the case. Is that people are fed up with it, and it's again, to preface everything we're going to say tonight, I can't speak for everybody here, I can speak for myself. Nobody cares who you are, what your lifestyle is. God bless you, have a wonderful life. It's all well and good. When you start crossing the line into using government pressure or angling to use government pressure to push your preferences and your lifestyle onto other people's children, especially we're talking about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds, you're going to have a fight from parents.
I think I remember some of us saying that this might be that breaking point. Once they get to something where they mess around with the kids or situation where, not even trying to be punny there, but seriously, like, You know, and I think this cartoon says a lot.
It does. Yeah, Gary putting together something amazing, right? And I said, I mean, I think Valiant hit right on it, and Valiant would know he's a dad, you know. And you start messing with, his kids, he's gonna show you that he's got, it's got more than a hat with that emblem on it.
Well, not to say, look, the first video that when all this started coming out, and I did that first video going back and talking about what was actually in Florida HB 1557. I made it clear. It's not. Why would an entertainment company want to jump into something like this? It just doesn't make any sense. It's not going to help them. Their audiences don't support it, especially in Florida, where the state legislature was overwhelmingly by Florida voters put in control of the Republican Party, including the governor.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining.
Oops. Sorry about that. That was my fault.
No, that's fine. And this is, back then, as what I was saying is that Disney is the big question is, can parents trust their children with Disney anymore? That's how I closed that first video, and it's a very poignant question, I think. And I think parents are starting to stand up more and more. I'm seeing it in the comments on my videos, especially the ones with WDW Pro in the last couple of weeks. All the videos that I've done on this topic, because this is all that has been in the news for Disney the last 2 or 3 weeks. There's more and more people making comments. I see more and more comments on Twitter. I used to let my kids watch, Disney and all this. I'm like, not anymore. We had plans to go. We're not going anymore. We're not doing that anymore. All of this you can see. And again, assuming all these people are telling the truth and they're not just making stuff up. And I know that does happen sometimes on the internet. Go figure.
It does. Yeah.
But that being said, I think there's definitely a wave that's a coming. And if Disney continues to do this, now again, I said I want to be fair. The videos we're about to see, including this one from Chapek, which is clearly a statement that was prepared for him. Watch his eyes, watch his body language. He's reading it.
Actually have Culture set this up here before we get going. Nephelum sends in a $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Nephelum, for that. Says, where is Cameron? I want his opinion on this. Sadly, not for him, but sadly for us, I should say, he is on Ramadan right now. And when he gets done with that, he's actually supposedly jumping into some very important work. So it could be some time before we talk to him, but hopefully we'll hear from him soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, as people are starting to file in here, for those who don't know what's going on, let's set this up here. Culture, this video is actually from what, like 2 days ago?
This is from the Reimagine Tomorrow presentation. This was released by our friend Christopher Rufo. He's been doing the amazing work of getting all this information out to us. The original version of Reimagine Tomorrow that we were told was being canceled clearly wasn't being canceled. All of the Marxism of the CRT garbage and everything else is still in full effect over at Disney, even more so now. And as you'll see here, the guy that's in charge over at Disney now, the new Bob, let's call him, he presents his side of things via a statement. Valiant would know because he's reading a teleprompter, right, Valiant?
Yeah, so as you were saying, Valiant, you said watch his eyes here. It's very obvious.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day for this very important session. By now, I hope you've all read my most recent note, in which I pledged to be a better ally for the LGBTQ plus community, apologize for not being the ally that you needed me to be, and committed to ensuring that our company lives up to its values. I meant every word, and that's what we're here to talk about today. I know that we've got work to do, and that work starts with listening. I'm glad the company will hear from today's panel of LGBTQ plus employees, and I hope that you are as impacted as I've been by the voices that I've heard over the past few weeks. I've read many emails that have been sent, spoken with LGBTQ plus employees and their allies, met with advocacy groups, and convened my own leadership team. And I have been taken by the honesty, the openness, and the urgency of their stories. I want you to know that your words have made a real impact on me. I understand that we've made mistakes and the pain that those mistakes have caused. And I know that our silence wasn't just about the bill in Florida, but about every time an individual or institution that should have stood up for this community did not.
That right there is the most telling line of all. And I welcome Grant, Culture, Valiant, any one of you to pretty much tell me why I said that. I'm sure you can tell me why.
Well, it's not so much you got to be you can't be not for it. You have to be actively going against what they do. You have to become an activist, otherwise they're not happy.
That's part of what I'm getting at. The other part is this. This is one of their basic drums they beat. This tells me they got to him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
well, especially when he's saying the LGBT part, you can see his eyes dart across the screen and then instantly dart back down and then across. Like, it doesn't even sound like him. Any of his interviews and everything that he does, this does not even sound like him. This is almost like it's a cry for help.
He looks like you're right. He looks like he's defeated. He looks like he's held captive.
Well, and it's clearly staged. In not just because of he's reading clearly from a statement. And as Valiant said, if you just watched his eyes, you know,
left to right, left to right, left to right, and most of these CEOs have a lot of training in speaking and all this, and he's trying to put the acting skills in with something that I don't think, again, didn't really want to go and say and do.
No.
But has been pretty much forced into it by the board and by extension the Tondra Newton, the executive vice president of diversity and stuff and things that have nothing to do with business at Disney.
Well, and remember, I mean, you have all the community members that were, you know, going after him via GLAAD and the Victoria Alonso thing that just came out a couple days ago. But that's also on top. I mean, he's speaking emphatically. He was told, he was instructed, and that's why he's uncomfortable. That's why he's bouncing. And he's really selling it. You're 100% right, Valiant. But at the same time, it's also staged because if you look behind him, what is the poster that's on the wall?
Yeah.
Yeah, turning red back there. The Pixar picture that, you know, and it's this is what they're trying to sell. This is not his office. This is, you know, set up the way it is on purpose.
Yeah.
I mean, it always bothers me when they do this. I would much rather him be, you know, him sit back, have a conversation. Although, to be honest with you, in person, he's not impressive or charismatic in any way. But that's.
Oh no, he's always pretty.
He's
stiff.
not really. I don't see him as much of a that guy. You know, the guy who's the debonair, talking to a bunch of group of people all the time.
In other words, he's not the weatherman. He was not built for the camera.
Exactly, like Mr. Weatherman, which we're going to get to in here in a little bit. Dearest sends in $2. Thank you so much. Says, did Chapek record this from the Hanoi Hotel?
Not far off.
Ooh.
I'll give you one more, Darius, on that super chat. How about this? Let me give you something to think about. This is a man who is the CEO of one of the largest, if not the largest, entertainment companies on the planet. And he is making this statement via a MacBook Pro webcam. They didn't set him up in his office or in the C-suite. They didn't put him in a nice room. They didn't bring in a studio camera or something to feed into this for him to make his statement. Even if it was recorded and then hit play when they started doing this seminar, they just have him sitting there. Look at the camera angle. Look at how small he looks in the image. Look at how small he is in the frame. This
is just the beginning of the story, though, guys.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see those in the chat who have now no idea what's been going on today. But anyway, you're saying something, Culture. Sorry.
Oh no, all I was going to say is, and not only that, I believe, just as Valiant just said, it was pre-recorded because we watched it fade in.
Yeah. Well, and the reason we're doing this, and like I said, this is from a couple days ago or whatever, is because this is setting up what is going on right now over there. It's very important. So I'm going to finish playing this video, and then we're going to get into the current news. So, yeah.
I and the leadership team are determined to use this moment as a catalyst for more meaningful and lasting change. We've heard many suggestions on how to do that, and we are working to move quickly. I want to thank the LGBTQIA+ Advisory Council, their allies, and everyone else who has submitted ideas on how we can take action. I am convening a meeting with all my direct reports and representatives of the Advisory Council to discuss the thoughtful suggestions that have been made. But we know the moment requires urgency and words are not enough. So we are taking some actions right now.
So is it words are not enough or words are violent? I don't even know anymore.
Well, we don't know what the actions are yet. And just for everybody out there watching, Christopher Rufo is the one who's been following this. You can follow him on Twitter. He just dropped that video of Bob Chapek not even an hour ago. So there's probably going to be a part 2. A part 3 and a part 4. It might be a few more days before Rufo release it. But I'd love to hear what the actions are.
Like, here's the thing, though. This is what's been going on today now. And the reason before I'm going to preface this, guys, because this also is some political leaning reporting, but we reported the other side of this.
Right, we did.
So I just want to say that in all fairness, this is one of the main reasons why we're covering this. But here you go. Here's some video now. Who did this? Culture.
Drew Hernandez.
Drew Hernandez
shot this footage. Yeah, and actually, I believe Andy Ngo is actually talking live about this. I think either on Getter or Minds or something right now. But anyway,
right, so this is actually more current news than you would think. Like, this shit is going on pretty much as we speak.
This was yesterday. Yeah, it was yesterday.
Or this is yesterday? Okay, I thought this was today.
No, I believe it's yesterday.
But it's continuing today?
From what I've heard, there have been bodies in multiple locations a couple of different times.
Okay, my sleep schedule is all out of fucking whack here. But okay, so for those who may not remember or forget,
I'm looking
forgot, last week, was it last week or the week before now, where they were having the walkout protest?
2 weeks ago. Valiant? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So when they had one person reportedly walk out in Florida and maybe somewhere between 70 and 80 walk around the building once in
I think
California.
about 100 in California from what Pro and I were having that conversation earlier.
Which, by the way, in that animation building, that's not a lot of people. No. Because that animation building, that building is huge.
Thousands.
Burbank's enormous. I mean, they're all of the stuff they have set up in Burbank's bananas, but that particular building, they have way more employees in there.
Yeah, it's a city to itself.
Okay, so this is yesterday then, after, Chapek bent the knee, right? This is what's been going on at Disney.
Boycott Disney! 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 Boycott Disney!
So yeah, that's the angle from outside there. That's in Florida, right? Culture? Is that
that's Burbank.
That's in Burbank. Interesting. Burbank. That's not in Florida. I thought. No. Oh well. Excuse me. I thought maybe that would be in Florida.
And they had a Disney employee that was speaking. There was another video from.
You don't say that, Valiant. Really? Yeah. Among that group, there was a Disney employee. Well, I'm gonna let her speak for herself.
And I'm a cast member here at for Disneyland, actually. I've been with them for quite a long time, and it's gotten very political, and it's gotten very hard to be who you are. It's gotten very hard to be someone who has conservative values, someone who believes in the right to choose, somebody who believes that it's okay to stand up for righteousness. It is okay to stand up for righteousness. To any Disney cast members that are afraid to be bold, that are afraid to be courageous, stand up. It's okay. You're not alone.
That looks like mostly peaceful protesting to me.
Yep.
There wasn't the grandest defense. It couldn't have been that peaceful.
Yeah, right. No, so there you go. Like, this is what I've been telling you guys about the Civil War all this time. It's finally come to a fucking head. Yep. Now, the other side is not afraid to speak out. So you have people involved in that audience who are obviously people who work for Disney. Yep. Not all of them, probably. I have no idea how many. But if that's outside of California, I can't imagine what it's like in Florida or any place that is right now. Guess what else?
I gotta look it up. I want to say there was a Florida something or other. Was it April 9th?
I'll tell you, there's more to this, guys. Okay, this is
Saturday. I think maybe this weekend.
This is the kicker.
Planning on something.
I think they're doing something. Yeah,
Culture. Can you tell me now, as of now, how many subscribers have dropped Disney Plus?
Well, by reports, 350,000.
What is the source of that? I've seen that number mentioned.
I have been trying to source that myself, Valiant, for almost the entire day. When I
know somebody tagged me in that.
I think it got leaked from the inside.
I asked Pro, and he's checking. Put it that way, because he didn't want to go to bat with that without trying to. But
and
getting Disney Plus numbers, he will even tell you, and he's got some great sources, obviously.
Well, I was going to say,
getting those numbers is, even for him, is a biatch.
Well, I think right now, this is what I'm saying, is with all this going on in there, I can see somebody from the inside getting that kind of information out, because before, when we had the Gina Carano thing, our best number we could get out of sources was somewhere in the 20s to maybe around 100,000 subscribers had, dropped Disney Plus or something like that. Maybe a couple hundred at the most, but it wasn't that enough for them to make a dent. If this number grows like this so quickly, you got to imagine they're going to have to pay attention somehow. So now that puts Chapek on the defense, right?
Mm-hmm. For the time being.
So what does he do here, guys? Like, help me out here, Valiant Culture. This is your guys' domain more so than even mine. So
what he does is he goes back like 4 weeks ago and does not get involved in this at all. That's
too late. Too late. You can't change that
There's
now.
No DeLorean here.
I just hired you as his new publicist and his new
flip,
whatever the fuck you want to call it, who's supposed to help him get out of this goddamn mess. Both of y'all. It's called Valiant and Culture.
Oh gosh, you first, Valiant. Good Lord.
Or it's Renegade Casino. You guys decide.
At this point, all right. Culture threw me under the bus first. I'll take it. No, I'm kidding.
No, that's true.
No, this is me at this point. Now, again, and this is why I prefaced this earlier. The video that Tom played at the top of Chapek, remember, that was just released within the last hour by Chris Rufo. That took place almost 3 weeks ago now, if not mistaken. That would have been when the Reimagine Tomorrow thing was going on.
So even though that just came out, it did.
It's still a couple of weeks old. Now, if I were the publicist at this point, it's obviously there is a load of new information that is now available since the time that statement was foisted upon Chapek to make.
Yeah.
Okay? And that new information is you got as many, if not perhaps more people that were out there protesting at Burbank than they had a few weeks ago, number one. Number two, we don't know how many, and again, I think they were planning on doing something in Orlando either tomorrow or Saturday, and I could be totally wrong, but for some reason, April 9th is sticking out in my head. I'll have to look that one up. See how that turns out. You've got potentially Disney Plus cancellations. You have maybe, perhaps, from what we've seen in anecdotal evidence, you've got a lot of people talking about they had plans to go. They canceled reservations. They decided not to go. They're canceling Disney Plus, da-da-da-da-da.
See, the reservations is another number I'd like to see.
Right. And again, very difficult to come by. But the point is, I would advise Mr. Chapek at this point, you need to step back. The company, nor he personally, should make another public statement on this, okay, at all. Ever. Let this die down for a month or two. You're going to take some heat. You talk to your investors. You leverage your brilliant hires, people like their investor relation director, and I promise you she has been working her ass off overtime the last 3 weeks, Alexia Quadrani. You having her handle on the investor side. And that's who you need to keep calm mostly. And you let this die down. Actually, the best thing for Chapek right now, if he wants to get out of this, is to let the silent majority start getting loud like you saw in Burbank and get bigger and bigger to where he is in a position to where he can then come out and say, okay, look, you know what? We can kind of handle both things. We can let the folks in Disney that want to have this kind of stuff maybe have some things here and there, and that they're designated as such, so that people who want to watch that know this is Disney Plus LGBTQ programming. Market as such, or I don't know, something, whatever. And that way they can kind of segregate some things out to where it's like parents will know and people will know and customers will know, but they cannot just let it keep going down this path. So number one, put distance between this event and what's going on now. Let the silent majority do the speaking for you at this point. Yes, Disney's going to get beat up.
Oh, yeah.
As they damn well should.
Yeah.
And that's what they need. Disney needs to get the shit kicked out of them right now in the public relations domain. Well, they need and let that go for a little bit, because here's the thing. In terms of Chapek's job, if he were up for his contract today, I'd say he'd be in trouble. But This contract doesn't come up till February. A lot of time between now and then. This is key.
True.
Here's what the investors are looking at. Is again, it all goes back to Disney Plus numbers. They lose 350,000. Let's say they lose 1 million. But for all this, let's say they lose 5 million. Disney Plus is still set to open up in 42 new countries and 11 territories in the next 6 months.
And
okay, so they have a buttload of new territories, and that is going to jack sub numbers up, tens of millions, right there in the next 6 months alone. Mm-hmm. They might not get domestic growth, but they're going to get international growth, and some of the places they're going to open it up are fairly lucrative. That's going to make investors happy, and that's going to make a lot of this noise kind of die down, provided Disney doesn't keep diving into it publicly.
Yeah. Well, except I will point out, and I know you know this, some of the markets they're opening up in, I believe 11 of those markets have very anti-LGBTQ stances.
Oh, none of the stuff that they're talking about putting in, they're going to insert this and put as one of the Disney employees, Latoya.
50% is that the one who said over 50%?
No. Latoya, it's the
representation or
whatever. The bi-romantic asexual one. Did you see that video from today?
That tells me nothing, Valiant.
Yeah,
you realize
exactly. A little more
No. She literally used the term today in the video. Chris Rufo dropped. It was
that's
Latoya,
like saying, what did he look like? He looked like a man.
It was bi-romantic asexual. This was her words in the video from today.
They're all bad. I have no idea what's what.
I know. My point is that kind of stuff that they want to put in. She's also the one that said, I wanted to put queerness everywhere, and nobody was stopping me and all this.
Oh, that one. Okay, now I know what you're talking about.
That shit ain't making it out of America, by and large. I mean, if you just take the sheer number of international territories and markets that they cover, you might get that crap pumped into the U.S. You might get that crap pumped in the U.K., maybe Canada, stuff like that. You start getting in outside of that region, it's not going to be there. It's not going to be there.
Grant, I want to get your take on this. If, like I said, okay, same question I gave Culture and Valiant. You're his publicist.
I didn't get a chance to answer it yet.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you guys were answering together. You were a duo.
He did.
You're fucking team. All right, you give it and then pass the time to Grant.
I agree with him with 1,000%. I think they just shut up. They shut up, let Florida tear them a new one, and Chapek can go to the board and say, hey, we have to separate ourselves from all of this Marxist, identitarian stuff, or it's going to destroy us, especially in Florida, because I have a video coming out that I'm sure Grant's working on that's called Disney versus America. And it hits pretty darn hard, and it does for a reason. I have to tell you, Disney has a lot to lose financially. Millions and millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars if they don't straighten up, at least as far as the silent majority goes. So I think Valiant's right. Let the silent majority beat them up. Let them beat them up so that it gives Chapek some room. And you know what, Valiant, I wouldn't be adverse to having them actually have a special section of Disney Plus that says LGBTQ plus content. And I would actually promote, this is how many people watch this garbage. I mean, this stuff, right? This agenda driven stuff. And if that number is significant out of everything that they're making, you have to let it rise and fall on its own. And if it falls, then again, that's another thing Chapek can take back to the board and say, this is too expensive to create all this special stuff. We will just gonna go back to doing family entertainment that, brings everybody in the door.
It's not personal, Tom. It's just good
business.
It's business.
That's and right. Look, just real quick to follow up with that. Here's the thing. Chapek either way gets to walk away at the end of the day and tell the board, I didn't want to do this. Yeah. I didn't want to go down this road. I was trying to steer the company away from my predecessor's, regime where he injected. Because remember, all this crap, this whole division at Disney that is doing this was installed in 2017 by Robert Iger. Okay, Chapek again is now dealing with yet another leftover Iger problem, another bomb that he left behind. But Chapek gets to go back at the end of this. Say, I didn't want to do this. He was coming out in April with more of his mission statement, basically, that was going to further steer Disney away from that Iger type of politicized Disney and go back into that. This whole thing in March that happened, this was time to basically undercut the next Chapek maneuver. Okay? And now he's stuck in the middle. And now he's like, what do I do? He's been convinced, up to the point of what we saw in this video, he's been convinced that, okay, well, I'm pissing too many people off. Maybe really people do want this, but I don't think so. The board folds under pressure, told him, you got to do this, that, and the other thing. We have to make these people happy. And now 2 weeks later, today, we're seeing these protests in Burbank.
And they're getting crushed. They're getting crushed. There is no winning here. You have federal legislation that could come into play. You have, and I'm not going to spill the contents of my video, but there's other stuff out there. Disney has 3 major weak spots that will destroy them.
Well, and this is why I wanted to make sure we preface that video that from the Imagine Tomorrow was a while ago, before all this shit goes on. Like, that's the thing, is I wonder what his next move is going to be. But sorry, go ahead, Culture.
Well, no, he's toast. See, we were told this stuff was going away. I kept some of it. In fact, I went spelunking here in the drive to find it. I'm going to share it, because I'm sure you've seen this before. If you haven't, you should have, because it is bananas. Bananas. Go. Bananas. And if, Tom, you want to pull it up, this is part of the Reimagine Tomorrow program.
This. Yeah.
You know, allyship for race consciousness.
But now this was actually, we got to preface this now by pointing out that this was put in effect under Iger's.
That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
This is all leftover Iger crap.
Another leftover.
Look at this on the bottom. What does that say? Reimagine tomorrow.
Tomorrow never comes.
Well, that's true.
That's
but the whole point here is to put people through struggle sessions.
Well, yeah, obviously that's what he went through. You can tell, and that's what I was saying, you guys. He's using the vernacular. I doubt he even wrote that fucking speech. We've said that behind the scenes. In fact, we all came to a pretty much a conclusive conclusion that it was pre-written for him, probably by one of those woke fuckers themselves.
Yeah, he's not an overly.
No, it was probably written by Latondra Newton herself. I wouldn't be the least bit surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
Well, and again, it's from Belong, Blue Ocean Brain. You have, what can I do about racism in any racism discussion guide? Chances
are not a goddamn thing that you aren't already doing. Okay, like again, not to like bring all this back up, but I wanted to get to Grant's response too, and get to this next story here yet. But
that's where all of this came from, though. It's just this ongoing bunch of garbage. And if anybody wants this, I'll try to find a place to stick it for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Giggity.
Grant,
if it was me and I was his PR thing, I'd say this is what you need to do. You need to appoint, I can't remember whatever her name is, to a brand new position. You give her $50 million to go create the content, whatever she wants, no holes bars. And when it fails, you go back to the board and say, this is what I want. And you don't mention anything about it. Just give her a new made up position.
Latondra Newton.
Yeah. Just give her that. Just give her absolute power. Give her $100 million. And then you sit back and you tell the board that this is going to fail. This is what you put us through. When this fails, and if it doesn't fail, he's now just created a new LGBT thing that's made Disney money. So it's for him, it would be a win-win. He needs to play the political game within this, because they're obviously got. I'm not saying they've got something on him, but they've got enough pressure on him that he's going to go out there and do this video where he's looking clearly. I mean, he's not articulate. We know that he's not that, but that was cringe-inducing. I think that was his way of showing everyone, yes, this is not what I believe.
You know that cover from National Lampoons with the dog and the gun? That's what it kind of looks like right there. Like,
hello,
I can
everyone.
see the gun right there.
Thank you for
like,
joining us.
Like off screen, just like do it, motherfucker.
Actually,
do it.
I think somebody that's very talented with editing could actually put like one of those guns, like just kind of.
I could probably get in trouble for showing that on YouTube, but anyhow,
I was gonna say, that would be the only thing that would.
No, I mean, you guys all are bringing very
articulated, a meme.
Articulated responses to this, and I too, I want to believe that, I know this is not exactly what he wanted to do, and I think that articles like this coming out in paid papers, websites, whatever, like Deadline, is really shining a light on this stuff. They can't deny it anymore. We saw the protests themselves. It goes to show how much of and I hate using the term minority, but they are a minority in this whole argument. And, you know, sure, they'd be sitting there going, well, we're not going to be tolerated and all that shit, like a Victoria Alonso and all those people were fucking saying and all that shit. It's like, no, you cannot force other people to think and feel the way you fucking do, right? It doesn't matter what it is. We all like pizza on this panel, I'm sure. But if I sit there and start bringing up pineapple on pizza, we're all going to start fucking fighting. That's exactly what this is, kids.
Well, the thing with NBC Universal and some of these others, I'm going to tell you what I think happened. Number one is that NBC Universal Comcast clearly does not have a politburo inside their company like Disney does that is driving this type of stuff. Now, certainly they have, I'm sure they have their diversity department and all this kind of stuff where they have their woke training and talk about white privilege and all this to their employees. But
which company?
Universal, NBC, Comcast.
Oh, no, yeah, but Warner does, and there you just got rid of her.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's another story. Yeah. But the point we're talking about, like I'm specifically culture talking about in this case Universal because of the theme parks next door to Disney. Yeah. So in Florida, Universal has a very big presence. Warner Brothers really doesn't. So so just to take this as an apples to apples comparison, I don't obviously they do not have as vocal or as empowered a set of cuckoos in there that want to turn the company into a political shill. The other thing, though, is that Universal Studios Orlando is sitting there twiddling their thumbs watching Disney burn because when all this started, I'm sure they're thinking, should we say anything? Should we do anything? And somebody who was smart enough up at the top said, no, shut up. Wait to see what happens with Disney.
Yeah.
And they did. And look what happened. And if you think Universal is going to open their mouth now, you're out of your damn mind. And if they do, they're dumber than I thought.
Well, it becomes about market share. I mean, because they are going to continue. They're going to grab huge market share. Then they open Epic Universe. Then they grab even more market share. I mean, this is an opportunity of a lifetime for them right now in Florida to become like a legitimate competitor to Disney.
Well, and there's never going to be a better time. Absolutely.
Yeah. And with some of the things that have been proposed that I talk about in the video that hopefully Grant's going to get edited and up, they have some vulnerabilities that will take the advantages that Disney has and throw them out the window. It's going to be this is a train wreck happening in real time for a tiny, marginally small fraction of the population. Mm-hmm. That's weird.
Yeah. This is as Ron DeSantis perfectly said back in the beginning. If this is the hill they want to die on, so be it.
Well, I think that the silent majority has finally stepped up. That's what I've been trying to say all this time. This is what people inside Disney who've reached out to me have told me. This is what people the culture knows from inside the company have told him, and so on. And that is that. And a couple of these people reached out to me right after the Gina Carano thing, and one of them has been with Lucasfilm prior to the Disney sale. That's all I can say, because if I start giving years and stuff, then these people could be doxxed. Yeah. So the problem is this: they've said this. They feel like they're like caged animals. They can't say anything or do anything that goes against the grain. Yep. And if they don't adhere, these people will come after you like fucking hyenas. And there's nothing you can do. And a lot of these people don't even have, the type of stability that an actor or a director has, right? They're somebody who's barely making ends meet working one of these jobs. So it's not easy necessarily to do. And some of them are probably older to where it'd be a lot harder for them to find employment outside of where they're at already. And I know that's some culture you probably, know what I'm saying too. So
Yeah. Well, but the brain drain at Disney's been real. It's been happening for a while. They, and again, it's a very uncomfortable work environment. The lady that was out there giving a testimonial that Drew Hernandez got on video, 100%. The employees feel like the company's catering to this small fraction and destroying everything that they've been working. Everybody keeps their heads down. I have friends leaving. to go work for Universal.
Yeah, I mean, if they're able to find other work elsewhere, good for them. That's the great part. So, but that's the other side of it too. Is like Lucasfilm, Disney. These are the two. Marvel. Those are three, and you can even throw Pixar in there for four. four of the most prestigious places people used to want to work for, right? And now, you know, look, this is what I'm hoping. I hope this is the final fucking. This March here. This shot across the bow is going to be the thing that starts the final read.
If
I hope we're in that last bit of it, because I cannot take anymore.
If at a state level, it hurts Disney, and it's going to if they keep this up, then, you know, you're going to have states now that will be like, oh, wait, we can get rid of this junk with, you know, like with the 10th Amendment. Oh, all right. Well, we'll take away privileges. We'll take away tax incentives. We'll take, if you utilize this kind of training or do this kind of stuff, you're not going to get any of these tax benefits or whatever. Right. You know, you know, you can do this. You have education bills similar to the one that Valiant was just talking about. It's 1557. Is that right? I always forget. I always put too many sevens in there. But anyway, you're similar states doing similar bills, some a little bit more aggressive than this one. Right. Basically, you know, shutting down, you know, this form of behavior. Gosh, there is no more appropriate use of the word grooming than in this. You know, it's an anti-grooming bill, but at the same time, people are like, they're trying to say that grooming, well, that's not grooming. It's the very definition of the word.
Well, I wouldn't even.
They'll redefine the word now, so therefore it makes them.
Even if you don't want to go to that extent, it's the fact that it feels like, what have you got to hide? I think is the question that people should be asking at this point.
If you're instructing the kids not to tell their parents, are you kidding me?
That's some predator shit right there. That's the problem. Like,
well, and that's what they've been doing. Culture. Sorry, go ahead, Grant.
Yeah, that's something that every child who's ever been violated, abused, whatever you want to say, every single child has heard that. Don't tell your parents. They'll make it out. This is our little secret. And the fact of the matter is that this is a common thing within the public school system is absolutely scary, because the vetting that it's required to become a school teacher in the public system is basically nothing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I can understand the outrage, and I think this is the straw that broke the camel's back with everything. The fact of the matter is, if they didn't come out with this whole "don't say gay" bill nonsense and lying about it, so people actually doing it, if they just come out and said that they were against this for whatever reason, but not turn it into something else, it would have died down.
Yeah. Well, it's ridiculous, because it's not like anybody was under attack. And that's the problem, is they want to always feel like they're victims, and it's the victimized mentality that, you know, they all cling to. And that's every single one of these Reimagine Tomorrow video segments that you're being presented with, courtesy of Christopher Rufo and some others. Though that's all 100% victim identitarian stuff. They play on your heartstrings, and not on the actual facts of the matter. And Disney's got a problem. I mean, like, I can't even begin to tell you how bad this is for them. I just can't.
Well, and that's just it. We've got a situation here, and I hope that I'll give Chapek a little bit of credit on this whole thing, because I've been, I guess, you know, this one's for Steph out there, because I know she's upset with me right now, probably. So I've been overly harsh on Chapek, but look, it's probably in the long run. I hope that Andre and some of the other people were kind of right in how he played this, because he was kind of in a no-win scenario no matter which way he looked at it at that point, but now he's really in a no-win scenario. So what he's got now is the proof, you know, that these people weren't really giving a shit about this bill. It was just them going after him. Right. So now is the time where he turns around and, you know, you can push and push and push. Sooner or later, though, that porcupine's going to show its quills, right? When you're in the corner. And this is it, buddy. You're in the corner now more so than you were before.
So, well, and like I said, the big thing is that finally the other side is now standing up and speaking out. I mean, they're showing up, and that's what's going to make the difference when they actually start seeing the numbers drop, when they start seeing people canceling reservations, or park attendance isn't what it should be, or Disney Plus subscriptions are, let's say, they're treading water domestically. Like, hey, we gained 350,000 subs, but we lost 350,000 subs. We netted zero.
Do you realize that they've calculated their active churn at 30% of their total base for Disney Plus? But their effective churn, they're managing to keep it like under control and still getting gains.
They're losing 30%.
It's
gaining it back
insane.
a month. That's insane.
Yeah, but that's not uncommon for the streaming services. Netflix is got to the point where they had a 38% turnover in customer base.
Well, Disney has publicly boasted that they have about the lowest churn rate in the industry.
So yeah, they sit at about 30 to 32%, 33% right in there. It's insane though. I mean, consider this. I mean, if you most of the churn rate for like linear television like providers like satellite and cable, they sit at somewhere between 7 and 12%.
Well, but those are entire packages.
I understand, but I'm just saying is you're looking at subscription models. It's just very strange, but there's a lot of weird metrics there. But look, Disney always tells you if you're listening to a shareholder meeting that they make warnings about forward-looking statements, and Valiant can talk about that all the time. They have to. But when they say something that has nothing to do with that and they get caught in a lie like Chapek did during his first annual shareholder meeting where he said, we don't have a political leaning.
He doesn't, but the studio or the...
Well, yeah, at the time, no, they didn't. I mean, that was his...
The company clearly
thing.
Does.
Yeah, or there's a division of the company that is.
I'm gonna say it. Those terrorists have them fucking under goddamn.
Well, they're in big trouble because again,
I'm gonna start calling them what they are. They're fucking terrorists. All right, they're terrorizing people into their fucking groupthink. That's exactly what it is.
You've had financial. Yeah, you're not wrong. You've had financial publications like the Wall Street Journal in the last week coming out. You know, and what is Disney doing? What in the holy hell are they doing right now?
Yeah, Steph sent me that.
And that's the financial side of things, and that's the message to the investor class. That's the message to not only that, but from the investors. And I mean, talking about the big institutionals, talking about the Rupert Murdochs or the Vanguards or the State Streets, the BlackRocks, You know, it's like, look, this is. I don't know what's going on. You know, you can have all your ESG bullshit that you want and all that absolute drabbled nonsense that makes no difference to a company whatsoever, except you can print it on a nice little, ad slick or something and say we're ESG friendly and all this bullshit. But in reality, it means nothing to the company from a financial perspective. All it usually becomes is a money pit. Is all it is, but it's a money pit that you can spend. You can throw money down the hole.
I like money pit.
Yeah, you can throw money down the hole to make yourself look good to certain elements out there that otherwise would come knock on your door and shake you down for money, kind of like the Rainbow Coalition did to a lot of Fortune 500 companies for years. And that whole thing. I mean, they did that all through the 80s and 90s. They were famous for it. So now these companies they basically they pay all of these. Would-be, kidnappers off. Basically, they're just going to hold them hostage until they pay them. But that's what all this is about. This time, unfortunately for Disney, they let things go way too far.
This has been a candle that's been burning for a long time. I mean, when you get shill organizations or shill media like Inside the Magic and places like that, actually covering these events and, taking stories from economists that are going after Disney for this practice. You have Wall Street Journal, as Valiant Renegade is talking about. You have just this cornucopia of different outlets covering this. Like,
well, those papers were important before, right? Like those papers were important when we first started talking about this. The shit that's important now is the shit I just showed.
Yeah,
Deadline, Hollywood Reporter, the woke fucking media cannot avoid it anymore. You can say whatever you fucking want about the TDS issues for years and shit that they said, or however they reported whatever. This ain't it. This is the end of the road, kids. They can't fucking deny the truth any fucking more.
No, because
between the Will Smith thing and this happening, this is the perfect fucking storm of events that we've been fucking waiting for. And I'm glad I see people out there fucking protesting, because this is exactly it. This is what I've been fucking saying. You've been sitting quietly too fucking long, letting all these kids go out there, and I'm going to call them nothing but fucking terrorist children, because that's what they fucking are.
They're definitely overgrown children.
Yeah, they act like they can get their fucking way by kicking and screaming and doing all the fucking shit they want, hitting people, slapping people, doing whatever the fuck they want to whoever the fuck they want, whenever the fuck they want, trying to make you fucking do whatever the fuck they want. You can kiss my ass. I'm going to start doing what I want, and that is telling you to shut the fuck up and let me just enjoy my fucking entertainment. I never thought in a million years I would be the guy to say, let's get back to cocaine and capitalism. Let's get some more fucking classic shit in here. And what I mean by classic, I don't mean good. I mean back to just when all they give a shit about was getting our ass in the fucking seats. I don't give a fuck if I get 20 Godzilla 98s out of this shit. I'd rather have that right now than this garbage, because this garbage is just making me want to fucking puke all over myself. Well, I've had enough of it. It's just so fucking bad. I never thought that I could see so many movies in the last few years and TV shows and all this shit turn into such garbage. Like, I would rather have the nonsensical, give me the ABC fucking plot. I don't give a fuck. I know it's how it's going to end. I'd rather have that shit at this point. The most benign shit. Like, oh, sorry, but yeah.
No, you're not wrong, Tom. Your frustration's right there. And for the rest of us, we feel the same way. And from now on,
I'm normally the guy would rather see more experimental shit like Tarantino, right? Like, that's the kind of stuff I normally want to see. I came into this because I was sick of the McDonaldization of Hollywood. Now I'd almost rather get back to that at this point because it's better than the shit we got.
But to your point, Tom, they can't deny that they are making agenda-driven content for very specific reasons. They are leaning into it 1,000% because they're telling you on the record, whether it's at a GLAAD event with Victoria Alonso, whether it's in these Reimagine Tomorrow clips that we're getting on the regular now, courtesy of Christopher Rufo and others, whether it's insiders, from that Park Place, otherwise known as WDW Pro, right? That this guy gets to talk to on the regular, somebody who's also talking to Clownfish. You have people reaching out to Tom, people reaching out to me, and they are telling the same story. It's undeniable that they are trying to force all of this stuff into the forefront, and it isn't going to be received well by pretty much everybody.
Well, I talked to somebody who happens to actually be bisexual today, a bisexual woman, and she said that she is sick and tired of this shit. Yeah. This does not represent her.
Yeah.
She does not feel like any of this shit. She's like, sex period shouldn't be in fucking Disney movies, straight or gay. It's like, well, duh, and then, explain that even though a movie like Turning Red, they didn't have to put that propaganda out there from what it sounds like, because Script Doctor and a few others have told me, the movie isn't that bad. But then I've had others that say, yeah, once you realize that this is what it's supposed to be about, it sticks out like a sore fucking thumb. Well, it was the producer and the director that came out and told us. Right? So it's not our fault. We're not reading into this shit. They can't say that anymore. They can't make a straw man argument out of this. And we got some super chats here, and you guys have been very patient, and I appreciate it. So we're going to get to these to see what you guys are saying, because you guys are very passionate about this too.
The chat is on fire, man.
Yeah. So Mecha J sent us in one a little bit ago. Sorry about that. It took so long to get here because this has been one of those things. This has been big news, guys. Like, this is, I believe, a breaking point. This is like the first big shot from the other side. We have not seen, whatever you want to see. And I mean, the other side, just people who've had enough of this woke bullshit.
The normies.
I don't even think it's a left and right thing anymore. It's like gotten to this point because like Culture and I have talked about our politics and personal and stuff like that. But otherwise, I don't talk about my politics too often with people. Right. So most people wouldn't even know what I am. I bet you Valiant doesn't know what I'm more I lean politically or Grant, because Grant, what the fuck's Grant going to care? He's in Australia. He's a fucking prisoner as it is. So free him like Nelson Mandela. Mecha J says,
we both have funny accents, so I can see how you got us mixed up.
That's true. Have they pulled back on any of that restrictive shit they had down there in Australia yet, or no?
Yeah, it's it's a election year, so we've got election coming up.
Oh, of course, they got to play nice now.
Yeah, so we're expecting it around May, the election, because in Australia you can call an election at any time that you want. So yeah, once that happens, then everyone will start wearing masks again. But also, there's a brand new variant that came in that's 10 times as
the Optimus Primicus.
Yeah, it's 10 times more effective, but nowhere near as dangerous. So therefore, we're gonna have to lock up everything again. So it's
right. So it's now the common cold.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's less than that at the moment. So
it's not even the comical.
Okay.
Yeah. Mega J, thank you so much for the $5, man. It says Chapek's mouth says, I support diversity and inclusion, but as I say, help me, I'm being held hostage by these lunatics. You're not wrong. He's definitely been put through a struggle session. Rave Girl says Disney has been knocked off their big game. They did not expect this uprising. The media who always provided cover didn't expect it either. I think you're right on that. And I'm glad, because it's about fucking time. This is what I've been saying. Where is everybody? Why isn't anybody doing anything? Why isn't anybody saying anything? You know, it's just gotten to this point. And then Rave Girl chimes in with another $4.99. Thank you. Says my father had Disney Plus for two nieces. For my two nieces, sorry. He canceled it 2 days ago. Well, good for him. No amount of spin can make what Disney is doing okay. Leave our children. Exactly. I knew there was. I said it before. I think I've specifically said it. I don't know if Culture has been on the show around me when I said it, but I'm sure me and many others have said it. Once they get to this point, once you get to the kids, it's going to cross the line.
Yeah. And again, I mean, you're seeing a political shift, here, but you're seeing it across the country as well. And we don't want to get into the politics, but this is tied to politics. And, when you start to see other legislation like this coming into other states, you start to see the polling data that's coming out ahead of this next election, the registration shifts between the two parties here in this country. You're seeing a polarizing shift, and it's not good. I think the final it's a possibility. Anyway, I'm sorry. I don't mean to talk so much because I know VR's got to do his thing. So.
Oh, yeah, I know. I do have to get going. I wish I could stay longer tonight, but I know y'all got some super chats to do. So sorry I have to run tonight, but thanks for having me on.
Go ahead and plug your channel. You got a recent video with WDW Pro. Go ahead and plug that.
Thank you. Yeah, y'all can check it out at Valiant Renegade, Valiant with 2 L's. Also on Twitter, Valiant Renegade. And got the last few videos have come out, have been doing some lengthy discussions with WDW Pro from that Park Place, notorious Disney analyst. So that has been a lot of fun trying to get some time to work on some other videos, but I really can't right now because March and April for me are crazy. But hopefully after this weekend, things should settle down a good bit and kind of get back to a little bit more normal schedule. So we have another show Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday. So, and I had a rehearsal last night when 4K4U was going on, so I had to go do tech for that, for lights and sound, so that's why I couldn't be there. So anyway,
good to see everybody. Next time, right?
Next Wednesday, we should be back on track.
You hear that? You got to hold them to that, kids.
I hope so. I don't want any more surprises, but as far as I know right now, that should be it. Oh yeah, 3 more of those this week.
You heard that enough lately? Thank you for being here, Valiant.
Good to see everybody. Take care.
Have a good one, buddy.
Take care. All right, let's get back to these super chats, guys. Spider Unlimited. Let's see if I can do this. Turn off your mind, relax, and float downstream. Did I hit it?
Ish.
Well,
fuck you too.
Compared to me, then the reason why I've never gone on karaoke, put it that way. So that sounded great to me.
Croaky.
I didn't have nothing to go off of. I'm just doing it by ear.
You did fine. I didn't say it was terrible. I said it was ish.
Let's hear your John. I mean, sorry.
Oh, dude, my voice is trashed right now. No. Oh, I didn't.
Oh, you ain't gonna do it.
No.
Oh, I see how that is.
My voice is trash, bro. I have a story I can tell. Do you want to delay the show, or you want to do super chat?
No, because Mike's here.
Hi, Mike. I
couldn't let you white guys talk crap about Disney's woke bullshit without any representation.
Oh, he heard me getting fired up, so you know.
Ooh, yeah.
I heard that.
He's a Mexican. He's not a Mexican. Look out. Here he comes with another big rant.
Why is Wally's face on my rap song?
Yeah.
I love that. I love
it's still your rap song. It don't matter to me. I wrote that for you, baby.
Thank you. I love it.
But I got a special guest here who wants to meet you.
What?
I do.
What are you talking about?
Very special guest.
I already know Grant. I've known Grant for forever.
A much more special guest than that. Well, I mean, Grant's special. Don't get me wrong.
What's her name?
Gordon.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
No. I'm not in.
Oh!
No!
I heard you're a big fan, Mike. What's wrong?
Get away from me!
Why is he yelling?
Get away! Dude, I'm literally backed away from my desk. Get away.
If you're gonna be such a pussy, I'm gonna eat you. Ha 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 ha.
Okay, you know what? That guy died in the last episode of the last thingy of the series. Ah, I'm triggered.
No, I didn't die. They picked me up.
No, get away. Ah, ew, I feel disgusting, I feel
But I'm
icky.
here for you.
No, you're not here for me. No, get away. Go do something. Get away. Go do one of your stupid ass bits from your stupid ass show. That was stupid.
You know you loved it, Mike.
How do you feel about the show?
Dude, there were 20 of those. My mom, if my mom, next time we're live together, me and my mom, I'm gonna put her on the mic, and she's gonna tell you we had Alps all over the fucking
I've been
house.
holding on to that for a while. You can ask Andre. I told him about that like 2 weeks ago.
And I bit my tongue and my lip for all that time. We had that stupid fucking Alf thing all over the house. We had Alf pillows, Alf bed sheets, Alf fucking plushies, Alf this, Alf that fucking stupid ever.
No wonder your mom likes me.
Oh, my mom loves you. She loves you. You make her laugh. She says, "Tom's such a nice boy."
She's sweet.
Yeah, she loves you.
Douglas is here in the chat. How you doing, buddy? Says Disney was always shark-infested waters for Chapek. This is true.
Yes.
We're gonna get into that. Actually, we got a story from what is it? The Wrap.
Yeah, VIP. Variety.
Yeah. Was it Variety? Okay.
Variety.
Yeah. Oh, what's this other Hollywood? Well, you didn't even get to this Hollywood Reporter one yet either.
Nope.
Speaking of, Disney has always been shark infested. However, with a nasty exposure, will he or his successor be in a better position to clean house? That's a good question. I predicted that there's one of two ways. I mean, really, there's only one way this is probably going to go, unless now. See, here's the thing. This was before the protest. I did not expect. That's the thing. The other side has sat by idly for so long that I didn't expect this to happen. This is the perfect time for Chapek to be able to backtrack, right, and not lose too much face.
He's not going to lose face at all. In fact,
he's not with most people. He's going to lose face with that side.
But he's going to gain. He's going to gain ground internally, and it can change up for him, especially if he saves the circumstance of having their special status revoked, because there is a lot of there's a big wave behind that, and there's more to it, and I talk about it in the video that Grant's going to edit, I hope.
That's a hint. That's the first one you're supposed to get on.
Yeah.
That's when a YouTuber suddenly saying, "I know you're having fun on this live stream, but I wish you would edit my video instead."
No, it's not. I am not Andre. He is welcome to be here. I like hanging out with Grant. Grant's my buddy. I miss Grant.
Andre would just make me be here and edit in the background at the same time.
Right. Tom, I will do these super chats while you edit the next 47 hours of video.
Just stay here in case I have to leave for a minute.
Right.
Yes, in case I need to leave 2 hours early.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you for that, Douglas. As far as cleaning house, I had predicted that the next CEO or whatever his title is going to be given to the first trans Black Asian person they can find or whatever. I just basically predicted it was going to be the wokest of woke people. But now after this, we'll see.
This is, but they've been exposed, and it's exposed Hollywood, and you know what? The other studios are staying quiet because they're like, "Oh crap! This is what happens if we get exposed for what we are. That's bad."
Yeah, and as those have been pointing out in the chat, Zaslav has been coming in and doing pretty much what we predicted. The only thing that he's done so far that isn't what one of us has predicted, and that has been, it seems like fucking Emmerich is safe for now.
Okay, except there's still, I know, I can't say exactly. Emma, there are people they're talking to. They talk to Emma's in the hunt.
That could very well be. I'm just saying. That's why I said for now.
And not only that,
Toby Emmerich, yeah.
Emmerich, yeah, cool. yeah. But honestly, and here's the funny thing: Grace Randolph had to come out and send a tweet because there's such a big push to get Toby out. There's like, well, I don't know what you guys think so much, or you think so not great about Toby, but Emma didn't do a great job over there with Marvel and X-Men and stuff.
Is that your Grace Randolph or Elmer Fudd?
I can't do Grace Randolph.
My Grace Randolph sucks.
I recorded like 3,000 videos today that might get
Your
turned.
hair's
Randolph,
too neat
whether
to
you
be
did
Grace
1 video or
Randolph.
3,000, your Grace Randolph still sucks.
Okay.
So Grace Randolph talks like this.
Yep.
Let me find a button. Let me see if I can fix it.
Douglas here thinks that Disney should clean house, but just maybe I sound like a complete moron or bubblehead. So, yeah, that's what she sounds like. Sorry, I shouldn't make fun of people.
So
You're super mean,
I'm
bro.
nothing to make fun of. I mean, I'm nothing. I'm in no place to be making fun of anybody. I look like a fucking thumb.
hey, your hair's better than hers.
Stephanie says, anyone read the Wall Street Journal? You should. Yeah, I saw you sent me the few pages of that. I haven't had a chance to really look at it. I've got to peruse it, but it looks similar to a lot of the other stuff we're seeing. And yeah, I mean, as we said before, like the money trades have been all over the shit for some time. The bigger problem has been like the main trades, like these guys, the industry trades. But now it looks like they're having to change their tune a little bit here. But I look forward to reading that, and I don't know if Culture or anybody else has read that at all that can comment. But yeah.
Well, this is Grace Randolph, and
did I get it?
It was pretty close.
Better.
Whatever.
If Elvin was Grace Randolph.
we're the Chipmunks.
Elvin!
CUMUNK.
Anyway.
So yeah, as you see here, the Hollywood Reporter as well getting in on the game.
Dude, they're doing.
And now we're getting to Florida. So this is where I jumped ahead of myself before, but like,
Well,
yeah,
because they use a lot of traditional architecture with Disney, and they cartoonify it, which is why you confused California and Florida gates. This is the actual gate going into Disney World. You confuse the Burbank offices. So leave Grace Randolph alone. Okay, stop pointing at Toby's junk there.
Leave her alone. Leave her alone.
Mm. Anyway, are you reading this, or
are we going to read it? I just was like mainly worried about the headline, but
oh no, the headline's great. Yeah, now you're turning into Scott. Scott just only reads headlines.
There's no real story to it unless you got.
You click on it.
Okay,
and then
in a escalating fight between Disney and Florida over the so-called "Don't Say That Word" bill. Don't say it, kids. That's not in the bill.
No, well, or actually over the Parents' Rights in Education Bill.
Bill.
House Bill 1557.
Yeah, has pushed state lawmakers to threaten to strip the company of special privileges that essentially give it the sovereignty to act as a government. Now, this is what we were talking about the other morning.
Yep.
Backed by Governor Ron DeSantis, some Republican lawmakers have called to repeal a 1967 law permitting the creation of the Reedy Creek Improvement District.
Yep.
The legislation affords Disney the authority to act as its own county with the ability to impose taxes, adopt ordinances, and provide emergency services on land that's home to its sprawling theme park resort, among other powers of self-government.
It's essentially two separate towns, but but it's the weirdest thing because it straddles two counties. The theme parks I think primarily are in Orange County, but there's other locations on
what two counties?
Yeah, two counties.
It does what?
Straddles.
What?
Straddles.
Is that it?
Hey, phrasing.
No,
it's a dirty word.
It isn't.
It's a dirty word.
No, it isn't. No, I didn't say that Evil Lynn was straddling Skeletor.
Ha! See, it is a dirty word.
All right. Not really. Anyway, but the whole point is this law, this act that created this space, right? A lot of that was done, and it's been correctly pointed out by others that hang out with me and do Disney stuff, that originally Walt wanted to have a actual company town. I mean, literally, that's what Epcot was supposed to be, an experimental, prototypical community of tomorrow, Epcot, right? And the goal there was for people to be able to work and play basically in the same area. He was a visionary. That's why he bought 34 square miles of land. So anyway,
No, but yeah, this is basically why they have their own police force and all this other kind of
and
shit.
Fire department, police, fire, comptroller, you name it. They have their own water, sanitation. They have their own ability to do utilities. In fact, it was correctly pointed out by a state legislature in Florida that if they wanted to, without almost any regulatory control outside of federal, could put a nuclear power plant on their land if they wanted to.
Well, is there anything really important in this long ass story?
Not really. We've covered so much of this ground, and
I
all of
this
these
sounds like stuff we covered the other day.
Yeah. You and I kind of hit the horse a lot on Tuesday. So.
Because I want to get to the rest of these super chats here, and then we got another story that most people probably haven't seen because it's behind a paywall. So we're gonna get to that here, and that has to do with Chapek and Iger. Storyman Jack is in the house and says, "This is why I make my own stuff." Well, good for you, Storyman Jack.
He does good stuff.
Hey, Gary's in the house. Oh shit! I'm gonna send you the fucking link, man. If you're not busy, hop in, man. I didn't even see this earlier, man, or I'd have sent it to you sooner. Fuck yeah. Sorry, it's vamp.
Vamp.
Bryant Barth and many other people have asked the same question, and they're not wrong. How would Walt Disney react to all of this? Dude was anti-communist. He's anti-Marxist. He was 100%.
He'd have fired them all.
They'd have been toast, dude. None of these people would have made it in the front door for this guy.
He would have never got to this point.
Well,
but anyway,
it's also alleged there was other people he didn't like.
Say again?
Well, that depends on who you ask.
It's a lie. Don't go pimping that lie. Don't do it.
That's why I said allegedly.
Okay.
Are you talking about Kurt Russell?
No, although that might be true. That could be true. It just looks a lot like his dad.
Was that his last words or something?
No, he wrote it down on a piece of paper. Nobody knows for sure what for, but
yeah, I believe he was trying to leave the company to him to run.
That's what it was like a Rosebud moment or something.
He wasn't that young. He was the future of the company. Disney absolutely loved Kurt Russell.
No, I know you did. Gary, though, thank you for being here, man. Even if you can't hop in, says, "Hail Mead, how about that evil mouse, folks? Hashtag cancel Disney." Thank you so much, Gary. We appreciate that. Very, very good friend of the channel. Mitch Thibault is here and says, "Who would have thought that South Park character of Mickey Mouse would turn out to be better than what is going on behind the scenes?" That's probably true. Like, if he represents basically all the problems. 32 flavors of Nick Weiser is here. He says, "Tom, bring in the heat on Mead." Well, thank you, Nick. That's very generous, sir, as well as being a member. And Nick, who was on Tuesday and always pops in from time to time.
Member.
Glade Ribbon says, $5 just for Tom's string of F-bombs. I agree completely. Well, thank you for that, Glade Ribbon. That is very encouraging. So when I get blamed for it, you're the one who's encouraging me. Goddess of Whim sends in a $3 super sticker. Let me see if I can see what it is. Yes, I can. It is little Sheba Dog saying, "My hero." Aw, how sweet. Thank you for that, Goddess of Whim. And then we've got Terrafim here who says, "We aren't mad at individuals. We're pissed at activists and the agenda." Exactly. The open secret is out. They want to force their agenda on us and even kids. Exactly. And that's what I was trying to get at earlier. I wasn't trying to say, "Oh, I have a gay friend, blah, 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 blah." No, I was just saying that normal people, and when I say normal people, I mean gay people, lesbians, it doesn't fucking matter. Normal fucking people who realize that this shit has gone way too fucking far, right? And I get it. It's crazy times we live in. You just got rights to get married and all this other stuff. I understand this stuff is new to you, but quit acting like you've been persecuted like it's the fucking 1960s in the South and you're black, because it's not wearing well on you.
Yeah, and mind you, I grew up in a time where if somebody said they were gay, they weren't ostracized. They weren't excommunicated. And I'm pretty old, so I'm sorry. But just everybody's a person. We're all one race, human race. We don't need to divide up into these little check boxes that people keep inventing. That's the bullshit that destroys.
Well, that's what I was getting at about the pizza thing earlier. It's like, yes, for the most part, there's tons of things we can agree on. For the most part, a good majority of us can agree. We like pizza. But once you start talking about the toppings that are on that pizza, things start to get messy. Not just for the pizza, but for the individuals involved. And that's, to me, my best way of explaining why you should not talk about politics, and pineapple is a big part of it. That's a perfect one to throw on there, or anchovies, or what have you, something that
candy corn.
P words.
Or candy corn. The candy corn war is even worse than the pineapple pizza war.
Well, I think it's not, because that's the regional sort of thing. That's like pineapple on pizza is an international sort of thing, and so it's politics. But candy corn's only American thing. We don't even have it here.
I'm going to send you some.
I stand by my allegory.
I stand by your your allergies.
Politics out of our pizzas.
Is it an analogy?
I'm going to say
no allergies.
Yes.
No allergies, sir.
I'm going to say a different way. Stay the fuck away from my 9-year-old.
Yeah, and Mike, you didn't get to speak up earlier, Mike. Sorry about that.
Thing, Mikey.
I'm going to take a break here real quick from some of the super chats. You guys have been very generous, though. Thank you.
No. Keep going with the super chats.
I want to give you a second, but
it's real simple. I canceled. I turned off Max's access to his Disney Plus account. I killed it last week on whenever that first one hit. Last Thursday, was it, or Wednesday? I cut off his access.
Something like that, yeah.
I talked to his mom when we were in Florida. My mom, his mom is like, look, man, I mean, I've been a Democrat. Look, I'm no longer a Democrat today, but I was a grassroots, hardcore, union, Democrat Party volunteer. I walked my first precincts for the Democrat Party when I was 12 years old. First ones, right? And I've been a grassroots community activist for well over 3 decades. Okay. But I know these people. I know these woke ass assholes. And I've seen them up close and personal. And, I believed the lies for a long time, but this shit's gone way too fucking far. Stay away from my fucking 9-year-old. And I'll tell you this much. I told my sister, who I'm supposed to take to Star Wars Celebration. She's got annual passes. I told her, I said, I'm not walking in Disney. The plan was we have 4-day passes. We would go to the Celebration for 2 days, and we'd go into Disney and the Anaheim California Adventure for the other 2. Fuck, I'm not walking in that fucking park. They can kiss my fucking ass. Fuck them. Fuck them and stay away. Fuck away from my 9-year-old, you fucking weirdo retard fucking motherfuckers.
You still have a chance, Mike, to go to Universal and do the Harry Potter thing. You have a chance.
I'm going to be in Anaheim, bro.
Oh, yeah, but go to Knott's then. Go to Knott's Berry Farm.
Dude, I'm not at I appreciate it. I just took him to, I'm
There's
not at a loss
for
places to go. I'm not at a loss for where to go. I'm just saying that I'm not at a loss for where to go or having cash to go where I want to go. I could go to the Galactic Hotel if I wanted to fucking go.
No, I think that's the stronger message you're putting.
But my point is, I cut off Disney Plus.
Right.
Completely.
Yeah.
I cut off his access. He doesn't have it anymore. And which is, and there was a shared password, his if he went to his grandparents' house, they were on the account. They're out. Stay the fuck away from my 9-year-old. And you know what? No problem. We're going to stay the fuck away from you motherfuckers. I'm pissed. I'm livid. You think I'm going to watch Kenobi now? Fuck that. I got to tell I'm making an announcement now. I'm not covering any of their fucking shit. And I'm on a whole lot of live streams. I'm on Doomcock Show. I'm on Midnight's Edge. I'm on Midnight's Edge After Dark. I do shit for Latino Smack, Midnight's Edge Espanol, Fuck them. Fuck you.
Echo Base, Loki, all that stuff.
All that shit. The list goes on and on. You know what? Fuck you. And you know what? You care so much about this 1/10 of whatever the fucking percent of people that claim they have all these sexual pronouns when they're not having any sex. Trust me, Mexican Iron Man has way more sex in a year than all these fucking Twitter ass weirdos that don't know what the fuck is going on downstairs. I know what's going on downstairs. They can kiss my fucking ass. They're not getting a fucking dollar. They're not getting a minute view time from me. Fuck them. And you know what? I've been optimistic. I've been rooting for Chapek and all this other shit. But you know what? Fuck you, Chapek. If you're going to sit here and think that you can outsmart these motherfuckers and bend the knee, then you know what? I'm tired. I'm out. Call me black-pilled. Call me pissed off. You know what? Call me red-pilled. Call me whatever the fuck you want. I am done with you motherfuckers. And I have been with you, and my family has had fucking 9 annual passes for more than a fucking decade. Fuck you.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn Sorry, right. Mark. Let me say. Could you say that again?
Yeah, you got to do that whole thing again. He was gone.
No, I can't. It wasn't scripted.
No, but that was brilliant, sir. And 100%, man. And you have every right to say that because you have a kid. And that's what this is supposed to be about. It's not supposed to be about these. And you're right. These individual, you use some colorful metaphors, but I don't give a shit. These individuals who I called earlier, and I'm going to keep using this term. I don't give a shit if they don't like it or not. They're fucking terrorists.
Yep.
These fucking terrorists think that they can control what media is fed to your kid. They don't understand that the power falls with the parent. It's not up to them to decide what is taught in your home. Guess what? It's a free fucking country for a goddamned reason. You have the freedom for religion for a reason. That means you can do whatever the fuck you want and teach in your home. Once your kid's 18, they can do whatever the fuck they want. That's the beauty of it. That's how this country fucking works. That's why it was made in the first place, or one of the main reasons it was made in the first place is because if I want to go and worship a spaghetti monster, I can. That's my fucking right.
I frankly don't care. You know what? I frankly hope all these companies burn to the fucking ground. I actually have come to a place where I don't give a flying fuck if I see anything good coming out of any of these companies anymore. And let me just say this, to take me, and I am an optimistic guy. I might rant from time to time, He-Man, this, and the other, Alf, whatever, okay? I might rant. But on a very serious note, I am probably the most optimistic guy that we have in the fandom. More importantly, I get along with everybody. Yeah. I get along with more channels than almost anybody in fandom does.
In the chat earlier, yeah.
I mean, I get along with everybody. I'm a tequila bottle half full kind of guy, like Tom says. And for me to get to the point where I'm cutting off access for my family, and I'm done, and now I'm changing travel plans for my little sister, who I want to give my little sister everything she wants because she still loves Disney. She still likes the sequel trilogy. I mean, she's crazy, but. I'm done. I can't. I feel gross. Just the thought of going to Disneyland or Disney World or anything like that just makes me nauseous. I've gotten to the point where I'm fucking nauseous just thinking about it.
And sorry about this, Nikki D. I did miss this one earlier. I don't know how the hell I keep missing these sometimes, but I do. Of course, Mikey wasn't here to help me, but that's all right. I'm not trying to make him feel bad.
I'm here now.
Just a little bad. Nikki D. Nikki D says the public outcry is promising. However, if the MCU films break box office records and the parks turnout remains strong, then one incentive is there for Disney to change course. This is 100% true, Nikki, and this is what I was upset about. And this is why I was glad to see that outpouring of people out there protesting. And that's the beauty of it. They don't look like kids basically losing their fucking minds, stripping down, showing people their vaginas and shit and setting shit on fire. This is a very well organized fucking protest. I'm going to show the footage again. This was from Hernandez, right? Culture?
Yeah, Drew Hernandez. Yeah, dude is a warrior on the right side of history. And
I'm going to show this again because this really this to me is it doesn't look violent.
There's no. It's actually peaceful, not mostly peaceful. Yeah.
That's what I mean. I made the joke, but I wasn't kidding about it. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't even seem all that loud either.
No, so we'll watch these two again. These are the two main clips we got.
Boycott Disney! Boycott Disney! Boycott Disney! Boycott Disney! Boycott Disney! Boycott Disney! Boycott Disney!
And I'm a cast member here at for Disneyland, actually. I've been with them for quite a long time, and it's gotten very political, and it's gotten very hard to be who you are. It's gotten very hard to be someone who has conservative values, someone who believes in the right to choose, somebody who believes that it's okay to stand up for righteousness. It is okay to stand up for righteousness. Any Disney cast members that are afraid to be bold, that are afraid to be courageous, stand up. It's okay. You're not alone.
Now, the long-haired guy, that I believe was the organizer of that particular protest. The long-haired blonde guy with curly hair behind her. I think that was the organizer.
There was no screaming. No hollering, no throwing of shit.
No, they had a band. They had drums, guitar, bass.
Nice music, it looked like. Or sounded like.
One of their signs, I actually just only noticed it then. It said, pedophilia is the real pandemic.
Yeah, Gary and a few other people have been posting pictures of the signs all over social media.
Not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to show a lot of them here, but we
don't do that. Yeah, we don't do that
like that. But no, this is what I've been wanting to see for a while. This makes me very happy. Kit Kat comes in with 5 pounds and says, so this was a brilliant Machiavellian 40 chess player. He looked like a whip dog. I never said that part.
I don't know.
I'd like to believe it, but
Cameron would probably come up with a reason why that was going to play out well for him. I can't at this point. I just can't. I think that had he not bent the knee, he'd be in good shape. But Cameron, if we go back in time just a little bit, and he can't defend himself, so I'm going to only speak positively about Cameron because I love him. He said that essentially he wouldn't be surprised if Chapek had called DeSantis and said, hey, why don't you give me some leverage here and threaten our sovereignty of our theme park?
You think he would have done that?
I don't know. I mean, Chapek's I'm going to say,
I mean, for it to work, that has to be that way. But
he forced out 2 people that were supposed to be in charge of the company to get to where he is. I mean, not forced out, but kind of like moved him out of the way.
Yeah. Well, we have somebody here who actually has worked within the company before.
Oh,
Mr. Gary Ambrosia. Welcome back.
Hey.
Oh, my goodness. How are you? Oh, you got Reese's picture behind you, you bastard. Why is it every fucking time you're on, I see you, you got something new and cool, and Kit Kat, I'm going to respond
to who this is? You know this guy?
I know exactly who that is.
John Kreese. He's like a karate guy.
He's a fucking war hero.
Yeah. My hero.
What's the bat behind you there? What's that from?
Well, that's actually from the Haunted Mansion at
Disney.
That's
a baluster. Okay. Yeah, that's a baluster, chain baluster for the.
Now, is that one you worked on, right?
No, I didn't. I didn't on the riot.
You just did the movie. I mean,
of Haunted Mansion. No,
you just worked on the Pirates of the Caribbean ones, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I hit the wrong button there. What were you saying?
I got this the other day, and I was pretty excited. But recently, I've kind of been, obviously super pissed off Disney. So it's kind of like,
Oh, yeah, and as Tycho TMA1 asked, is the skull from Pirates of the Caribbean? It looked like it.
No, actually, the skull is one.
Oh, that's One-Eyed Willie. That's what it is. I can see now. Yeah, it's One-Eyed Willie. Yeah. Oh, and you got the Stay Puffed.
Yeah, that was the popcorn thing that they were offering at the Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Yeah,
we didn't get the Ecto one. That one would have been neat. But
we're getting like
I heard some serious F-bombs going off in the room, and I figured I ought to come in here and join the Taylor talk. You doing all right there, Mike?
Yeah, so long as he doesn't put Alf back on the screen, we're good.
Oh, wow. All right. I don't have an Alf.
I know. That was a joke from earlier. I don't know if you saw.
Right.
Yeah,
I got one.
Maybe I'm. Yeah, I know you do. I'm sorry. I'm calm down, everybody in the chat stream. I don't want to ruin the night. We're having a good show. I don't want to ruin.
You're not ruining anything, man. I'm right with you, man.
We're getting a really
mad.
Yeah.
Your mic is.
We're getting a weird feedback.
You're doubling up. Yeah, you're doubling up in weird audio artifacting. You might want to drop out and come back.
Drop out.
Let me. I'll come right back.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, sorry about that, kid. He'll be right back. But yeah,
Gary's awesome, by the way. Just everybody should know that. Gary's awesome.
He's an ubermensch.
Yeah, he's awesome. He I would have been Gary if I'd have grown up a different way.
Forgotten Prime says, I like Elf, just stay away from my cats.
Yeah. There you go. Hey, I didn't really get to see the Alf puppet. Do you have? Can you show off your Alf puppet, Tom?
I don't know. I might traumatize Mike.
I doubt it. He's a big kid.
I'm not gonna look. I'm gonna look away. Looking away. Not looking at the screen. I'm over here. Not looking at the hideous creature that tormented my childhood. Looking away so that I don't get triggered.
I'm gonna have to build you one with like the whole armature stuff that you can manipulate, Tom.
Yeah, I noticed. This wasn't actually that expensive either. Welcome back, Gary.
How's that? Better?
So far, so good.
Better? Okay, yeah, it's the difference between browsers. Stupid crap. Yeah, okay, good. I don't sound like a Cylon then.
Not as bad as before, no.
Nice.
So yeah, what's your response to all this Disney business, considering you've actually been on the inside before?
Well, I'm not surprised at all, really. All the shit that I had to deal with back in 2006. This is, these people never going to stop. They're never give in. They're going to keep pushing it. They're going to keep going and going until they have nothing. And I where it's going to end. And I mean, this have been talking about it. So how much can they go? How much more obvious can
Gary, your audio is clipping, echoing bad.
What is that? That's weird.
Actually, I've never heard that in any stream.
I know. That's what I was thinking. I've never actually heard that.
That's weird. Well,
you're like go talk like
it is really weird. Yeah.
Okay,
it is like doubling up your words and stuff. Yeah,
yeah, but I like it. I mean, we should be capturing it right now, so we could do like
we
your
technically
version.
are.
Yeah, you're like doing like Max Headroom, like right now, but you not voluntarily. It's very cool.
I'll restart.
Sorry, Gary, but thank you. Yeah, try again.
Gary Headroom, absolutely. I was like, that's so cool because
we'll
like
get more super chats in the meantime.
And I love that show. Do you remember Max Headroom?
Yeah, of course I do.
It's so good.
Oh, and then I was going to answer Kit Kat's question there. What was
Kit Kat?
Yeah, I had it there. I just lost it. I accidentally hit the wrong button. Yeah, it's all right. I'll get it. We'll get there. We'll get there, and then I'll get to Willie's here. I promise. I promise.
Wow, now you have Gary's problem. Promise.
I know. Promise.
Okay.
Promise. Something like that it was. Okay, right here it is. Okay, Kit Kat wanted to know. Okay, yeah, he looked like a whipped dog to me, but I hope he uses this moment like a wounded animal in a corner and lashes out now. This is the time, this is the place, he's gonna have the backing now.
He needs to go full DC Fox right now at this moment.
Yeah, he needs to come after these people and be like, all right, you got me into this mess, now get me out, kind of thing, and hold them to task at this point.
Look, Susan, if he reaches out to Susan, who is also LGBTQ, and says, this is just broke our company. What you wanted what everybody wanted this to happen, it just broke our company. We got doom in front of us.
I mean, he may not have been playing 4D chess, but that's the only way I can see him turning this into a positive. So yeah. Hopefully we'll see some positive results. Willie Woodward says, hi, I wanted to pass along some money and say hi. Mike needs some anti-elf Mexican Iron Man armor.
Dude, I'm getting all kinds of ideas. Southern Viking says he wants to see me do a video where I cut him up into pieces and then burn the pieces.
No.
I may order one just to do that video.
No.
That's just cruel, man.
That's cruel. Dark Saber Force is in the house and says, who do y'all think leaked those secret Disney bids? That's another point. That's a good point. Or question.
Well, that's where I agree with Stephanie Janicic. I think it was planned.
Well, and that's where I can't count out that I wouldn't necessarily say it was planned, but I think he knew what would happen, maybe. And that's the other thing. And here's where I'll add to this. I don't know if Chapek necessarily did it himself, but I'm sure he, let's say, authorized the leak. Let's say, does that make sense? Because if he's gonna play this is the only way. And that's the thing I kept hearing from people that were talking to me, is they felt like they had no support. But that was when Iger was in charge. Okay, maybe you guys are right, and Cameron and a few others to that respect, that he knew that this was what was going to happen, because he knew these people told him they were going to back him up or whatever, and then he did this, and then now they're protesting. I don't know. I mean, this whole thing is just so out of hand now that that's the only way he can play this, is by backtracking on it and being like, no, this is why I said we're a business and not about politics, right? Because once you step into politics, this is the shit that happens, and he needs to call these fuckers out. I mean, I don't see any other way out of this. Do you guys? I just, at this point, but that's just me. I mean, Mike's the only one who really hadn't had much of a chance to really chime in. I mean, Grant, you haven't either, but please, one of you guys go ahead and tell me what you think. But yeah, don't everybody talk at once.
Oh, okay. No. I mean, you've said everything that I was going to say anyway. Unfortunately, I don't have anything else to add with this. Right. I honestly don't know. Like, when it comes to the leaks, every time something leaks, I always assume that it was a plan. I generally feel it's very hard to get something that's leaked organically, and the way in which they react to it is usually the telling whether it's real or not. And I think it was a planned leak.
Mike?
Or at least an approved one, I should say.
Well, here's the thing. I find it funny that people question. Well, not okay. So I'm just gonna say this. Some people question, well, why would he leak this stuff? Let me tell you something. Leaks happen all the time strategically. They happen in politics, in the circles of power. They happen all the time. And let us not forget that they happen in the entertainment industry all the time. Yet the stakes are a lot lower when it happens in the entertainment industry. We'll get a leak that says this or a leak that says that. Usually it's around marketing. And what is marketing? Marketing is a campaign. What is a campaign? A campaign is about public relations. It's about, viewpoints. Of course, of course leaks happen all the time. And if, in order to put out articles have to come from somewhere. And I can tell you this, wokeoso type people aren't contacting these publications for them to write something that's contrary to their agenda. So it's coming from somewhere, and it's coming inside. And it's coming from somewhere, and it's coming inside. And these articles don't just say, hey, we're just going to go off on our own and make shit up. No, there's somebody that makes a phone call, even when the sources are quoted. When the sources are quoted, then you know it's not. Then you know it's happening. But even when the sources say that they're anonymous or a key person, that's still someone making the call. It's still a leak. The difference between
definitely it is then usually.
The difference between a leak and exactly. So the articles happen when there's leaks. Then when it's listed anonymous, that's a confirmation that that's coming out, but there doesn't want to be disclosure. And then when it's credited, then that's just someone who wants to go on the record. But most of the time, that most of these stories, especially where Hollywood's involved, and especially in power circles, it happens in politics all the time. Like, we're responding to an unnamed source who says that www. Come on. That it is exactly the video that Tom and Andre wrote and edited and released, which basically said this, is that for people that doubted there's a civil war inside Disney for a long time, you're crazy if you doubted it, because it has spilled out and war is on and we're watching it play out. The difference is that other companies like NBC Universal and others were smart enough to mitigate and manage this ahead of time. And the number one way that they mitigated and managed this is by their controlling their message. And more importantly, they didn't hire these morons. Iger did this.
He did it intentionally.
Iger did this.
Did it intentionally.
Yeah. And so Gary, go ahead, Mike. Sorry, finish.
And that's who I blame. That was the last one.
Okay, so sorry. Gary, welcome back, sir. Hopefully things are fixed.
Thank you. Hello, testing 1, 2, 3. Yeah. This is Mike number 1. Isn't this a lot of fun? Is that good? Does it work?
So far, so good. We're going to stick with that. So yeah, Gary, I don't know how much of the show you've caught, how much of the video you've caught as far as the protests and Chapek's leaked video. But I just got to say, going off of what Mike said here before we get your feelings on all this, one thing, if he is playing 4D chess, he's basically learning the game, right? Because that's one thing we said a while back was he's new to this shit. He's not in this kind of thing. He was in the Parks division. He's not used to this playing politics ball. And now he's possibly learning how to play the game. So you guys could be right on that. But Gary, I'm interested in hearing your take on all this, especially from somebody on the inside.
Well, I'm not surprised with Disney's behavior. Not really speaking from Chapek. I don't know a whole lot about the guy, but as far as the company goes, I'm not surprised at all at the way they've been behaving. And you're right. All these people that are working there and causing this problem, they were hired by Iger. We're still caught in that older realm of employees. And I think personally when they threatened to walk out, he should have let them. They could have had a whole new body of employees there that would have been very thankful for their jobs. Yeah, exactly. This is no big surprise to anybody who's worked in this industry, because they know how Disney has been operating for the past 20 years, maybe even longer. My experience with Disney was always horrible. It was always horrible. And it's not news to us. You know what I'm saying? Like this is old news, but, I don't know if Chapek's playing 4D chess. I don't know, man. I can't really answer for that. The reason that these people tuck tail and are scared is because they either, they're either, like you said, they're not used to being publicly humiliated and they don't know what the right thing is to do and they don't want to screw it up. They desperately don't want to screw it up. Either that or they have something to hide. And I don't know. I know that that's the case in a lot of situations. I don't know if it's the case in this situation. It may be sort of like you said, he's trying to kind of find his path. He's kind of a little bit new to this situation. So it's too early to determine that for me.
That's a good point too. I mean, that's the one reason why Chapek could kind of look. We've seen this already. I wouldn't say he's untouchable, right? But we've seen Kevin Feige, one of the most powerful
took a swing.
Producers in Hollywood, took a swing and struck out and said, "I miss I misjudged this guy, and there's other people inside who've been pushing and pushing and pushing. And the only reason that we call it out is because what they're pushing against is accountability. Right. Yeah. So go ahead, Culture.
No, that's the thing Valiant and I were talking about. Set this guy on, or set the people that are against you, your enemies, on a meter for performance. And when they fail to meet the meter, let them go. Say, you know what? I tell you what, we're going to label content LGBTQ content. You can have a whole section of Disney Plus. We're going to drop your stuff in there. If it doesn't meet the metrics, if it fails, and it's going to be clearly labeled so that families know what this is. If it fails, doesn't perform, it doesn't add anything to the company, we're going to let you go.
I think that should be the process that they go through. Yeah. And we know that it not only will it fail, but what they'll do is they'll create reasons why it failed.
Yeah.
They'll blame those reasons on other people, on sabotaging and hatred and all this bullshit. Mm-hmm. The same kind of crap that they give us about like why a movie doesn't do well in the box office that is of this kind of content. And well, it didn't do well because no one wanted to see it. No, it's because of the trolls and because of the bots and all this bullshit. Yeah. And then so there's no reasoning with any of these people. They're never going to get what they want because first off, it's never going to stop for them. They're always going to want to go a little bit further.
Yep.
So the due diligence is exactly what Culture is saying. That's what Chapek should be doing. And when it doesn't work, he can finally say, well, I've exercised every possibility that I can to include your content, and it is failing us miserably. So guess what? We're fucking out of here.
Yeah.
And that's it. You're gone. Yeah. So you could do that, but it's still not going to appease them. Nothing will appease these people. Mm-hmm. There is no reasoning with them. They're not reasonable, rational human beings. There's no logic at all.
Yeah.
It's all reactionary. It's all emotion and reactionary. And no matter what you give them, an apology, apologies are like currency to these people. You know what I mean? That's why I'm like, God, why is he apologizing? It's like ammunition. And there is no reasoning with these folks. And if once you adopt that, you can get a lot further. And it's really surprising to me why these corporate types aren't adopting that way of thinking yet, or at least they're not executing it. And that's why sometimes I'm like, you know what? There's something else. There's something that like somebody has something on him. He's not going to say what he's supposed to say.
But see, here's the weird thing, Gary. You'll understand this because you've done work with them. So from the inside, I'm going to tell you, he's a retail guy. That's what he is. He's a product pusher. He's always has been. When they put him in charge of parks, they were trying to build up the products aspect at the same time because that's the same division for them: parks, products, and experiences. So they brought him over. So they brought up some of the parks or some of the products, the product level, the marketing, everything expanded under him. Licensing deals across the board, the whole nine. So he was moving the right direction there. But at the same time, he was letting the theme park element that he was brought in to essentially ride herd over, like kind of suffer a little bit. Now, it was only noticeable to the theme park enthusiasts, but this was happening across the board. But he had already played some chess because he had managed to make the guy that had the flop of this $2 billion like boondoggle called Next Gen, which became the my Disney experience, My Magic Plus, the whole 9 yards. That was all this guy before him. His name was Tom Staggs. Tom Staggs was supposed to take over that gig. Right now, if you're looking for somebody who's creative and has a passion for the employees and the parks, you would have brought in instead and promoted early Josh DiArmo, who's now in charge of parks, products, and experiences. But he had already leveraged his way in there because of his retail experience. So you have a retail guy that is now in charge of the company. So he knows how to strategize against others, but he's playing a different game at this level.
There you go. That is it. You're playing a different game. That's
he is.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're right. And he was sabotaged. There is no doubt about it. I mean, Gary talked about it. Mike talked about it.
Hold on. Getting him before he sabotaged. Hold on. Let's focus on what you just said. Because I wasn't sure where you were going.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then you hit the nail on the head that it's a different game. Okay. So this what's happening now is not about is this a retail guy or not retail guy? If we were playing a retail game where market and buying toys and all that shit mattered, then Chapek's winning and no one can beat him. If it's about, let me finish. If it's about corporate governance or internal politics, he's beat out plenty of people inside the little Magic Kingdom castle. If it's about accounting or finance or investor relations, this guy's a badass and we have no problems. The problem that we have with Chapek is something that I said on Midnight Edge in the morning with Tom and Andre with a culture. I'm pretty sure you were on that show. It was late in the day. It was a 4-hour show. And I said, our biggest problem, and I said this about a month or 2 months ago, I think. I said, our biggest problem was going to be with Chapek is the fact that he's an accountant and I'm an accountant. I know his personality. I know what it is and I know what it isn't. And what it isn't is that he does not know how to play the PR, public relations, interpersonal, political game. And if it was any other war, he's been winning those wars, or he could win those wars. But the fact of the matter is he is absolutely not prepared. There were other people that Culture just mentioned that had they become CEO, they would have, and had they not been woke, they would be more prepared for this battle that's going on right now than this accountant. Because I know accountants. I've been around accountants my entire life, and we are not me personally, but maybe me personally. We are absolutely the worst people when it comes to a PR public battle. It's not what we do.
Yeah, he's not a shark. He's not a shark.
He's neither a shark and he's not shrewd. And he does not have the political capital maturity to wage this war and win it. Because if he did, he wouldn't have bent the knee at the first crack. See, we as accountants, we want to get rid of problems and take them off the balance sheet as fast as possible. We basically want to say, okay, just here, give him a cracker. It's kind of like, I
believe that because he waited so long. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry, Mike.
I was just gonna say, our instinct is that we don't want problems. So if a problem pops up, just give them what they want, acknowledge them, and let's move on. They'll go away. Wrong. And as Culture aptly pointed out, he already had enemies from what he did in a previous career. Anyway,
he's not just that, but he's had enemies since he walked in the doors. This article points out.
Yep, he's a great strategist. He got in a beautiful place through a lot of manipulation, but he and the other Bob, not bosom buddies.
Yeah, so this is actually from a week and a half ago now, 23rd.
Oh, yeah, 23rd March. Yep.
Is it very long?
No, it's not terribly long. It's
okay. As the Walt Disney Company learned earlier this week, and thank you, Culture, for making this possible.
Of course.
Earlier this week, an employee walkout is never a good thing for a company. While only an estimated 75 to 100 people participated in the protest at the Burbank-based studio, the contingent that came together to publicly criticize. You want to read this, dude? Okay. Never mind, you ran away. I got it.
No, I can do it.
Contingent that came together publicly criticize. You want to do it?
I can do it.
Can you even read it?
It's the variety one, right?
I don't know if you can open it because it's a VIP one.
Disney is battling.
Let me see if I can make it any bigger. That's the problem. I don't think I can.
I can read it.
As the Walt Disney Company. Well, I was reading it.
I got it. Bigness, Batman. That's enormous.
There we go. There, I can make it a little bit bigger. There we go.
All right, very good. Okay.
Now I can probably read it. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So unless you really want to, Mike, I can get it now probably. While only an estimated 75 to 100 walked out, the contingent that the company came together to publicly criticize and embattled CEO Bob Chapek's silence in the face of Florida's "Don't Say You Know What" bill spoke out at a volume that far exceeded their numbers thanks to ample media coverage. That's a very good point there. For Chapek, it was the most humbling moment yet after sustaining weeks of public relations headaches of his own making. To top that off, an embarrassing CNBC story published Sunday detailed the tensions between Chapek and his predecessor, Bob Iger, who seemed to be going out of his way to make his successor look bad. A few months ago, it would have seemed the only thing Chapek really had to worry about was Disney Plus, which achieved an early success that would have given him some breathing room. But the Don't Say bill, the transparency bill, parental educational rights bill.
Parental rights education bill, yeah.
Rights education, okay. Which has brought Disney into conflict with Florida governor and likely presidential candidate Ron DeSantis. has become such a distracting sideshow, Chapek has to be worried about his future. With his contract up next February, he simply has to put this behind him in order to protect his job, just like Mikey was saying a second ago.
Yep.
How strange that Disney's stellar Q1 results from February 9th feel like a distant memory, a reflection of Wall Street's that have you done for me?
What have you done for me lately?
What have you done for me lately? These theme parks had rebounded so nicely, and yet even that seems like old news during a week when Shanghai Disneyland was forced to close down due to concerns of the bug.
The thing.
There you go. There's a graph. He's got charts.
I love and everybody gets on me because I like the numbers and the charts and all that because that's how I process information. So this is a nice chart. That's a good chart.
I can see charts better. That's how quickly the ground has shifted underneath Chapek, who is seeing a full-blown revolution unfolding, the likes of which neither he nor Iger ever faced. He's never had a chance to. Fucking Iger's been there under his fucking armpit the whole time.
Yeah.
That nothing like this has ever happened on Iger's watch is indicative of how big the shoes are that Chapek is trying to fill.
Not really.
That CNBC's Alex Sherman laid bare the dysfunctional tension between these two men only makes things worse. Neither Iger nor Chapek come off pretty well in the article, which provides a sobering reminder that even the highest levels of corporate America, the fragility of human egos, undermines the best efforts at strategic focus.
True.
Luckily for Chapek, he finally seems to be taking the right steps to remedy this bad situation, admitting to Disney Rank that that he aired.
Variety.
And I was going to say, this is Variety showing their shit, just like they did in the paragraph before. It's really showing now.
Yep.
Disney Rank and File that he earned and then we show our. And I'm not going to say we're any different. We show our side of the, too. So, and that's what's happening today. So fucking A. And he earns and understands the impact is very least of what the CEO must to do.
Must to do. Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Okay. He pledged to turn his mistake into a teachable moment as a catalyst for more meaningful and lasting change. That will make all the difference in terms of Chapek getting a chance to put this behind him. The company's employees will be watching, and they wouldn't let him put it behind him.
No. See, and this is the other problem.
Because they were trying to use him as a political tool. That's why.
But see, here's the weirdest thing, and Gary's going to understand this more than you know. A lot of the employees got behind this, not physically, because obviously it was a miserable representation of the Burbank building when 70 of them walked out into the street and did a lap. But it is these people are utilizing it so they don't have to move to Florida. They don't want to leave Burbank. They don't want to leave California. You have different sectors of the company that are being relocated to Florida. This was being leveraged. I put together a video. I don't think
somewhere in California.
Yeah. I don't think I actually put the video together, but there's a lot of information out there. Their entire divisions, they don't want to leave. There's a whole bunch of people that are Imagineering that were trying to be sent to Florida. They don't want to move. So they're going to get behind this and kind of they threw a lot of leaves into this fire because they were trying not to move because Florida is now an it's not a comfortable state to work in, yada, yada, yada. So they were trying to use this to their advantage. So he's getting leverage for multiple different reasons. But again, he could have taken the advantage as the Red Baron flies over my house. He could have taken advantage of the situation. I'm going to say it one more time. Hey, what's up, that umbrella guy? Good to see you, Mike. Yeah, Tug's here. He could have utilized this very thing that Gary and I talked about. He could have used it to just say, you know what? There's a small group of folks, a small group of employees that have shown their displeasure. Unfortunately, we have to speak to the greater stockholders and the public that we serve in the greatest entertainment experience on the planet. This is the kind of PR stuff that you need to pull in order to pull this together. But as Mike pointed out, very eloquently, that's not in this guy's DNA. So, but anyway, I'll continue on. It just goes on
the article. The article more so I brought into it mainly just to show how things led up to this point. And they take what is it, Deadline, who wrote that originally? Take their spin out of that aspect of it though. What they're doing though, I think is important. They're admitting finally that shit's not going the way they want it to.
No, well, again, Iger and Chapek probably not bosom buddies. I mean, let's just
clearly not, especially after all this shit. I mean, Anyway, Gary, what's your response to all this with Iger, who can't seem to leave well enough alone? He hasn't let, Chapek run the company.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just thinking about the analogy that Mexican Iron Man was actually saying, and it makes a lot of sense now. And I'll cite an example for that as I think about what you just asked me. There was a group of certain believers of something in Hollywood, and they were under the gun for certain tax reasons. And there was a huge group of IRS accountants that went in and said, you owe us this, that, and the other. And what this certain group did to counteract that was to post the actual individual faces of those IRS agents on billboards and completely defame their characters and put their faces. I mean,
it's like a mafia move.
That's what they would do. And those people finally just said, you know what? We're not even going to work for this. We're not even going to do this case anymore. And they won. And they won. And they basically used fascism to get what they wanted. Yeah. This is no different. This is no different a situation. And like Mike says, I don't know that Chapek was prepared for something like that. I mean, the guy has a family, right?
Well, it's bigger than that, and you're not wrong. You're 100% right, Gary, as far as the family and all that other stuff. But at the same time, I'm not sure that they used the big blue building in California as the framework to do this, but the tactics are the same.
That's what I'm saying. Right. I'm not saying it was them. I'm saying that's the kind of woke sickness that we deal with. Those are the kind of that's the battleground. And like Mike was saying, I don't think he was used to that. I don't think he understands that's the kind of thing that
he's not a shark. Fighting. He's not a shark. The dude's not a shark. Yeah.
And Iger, so Iger is what, shadowing Disney? Is that what's going on?
Everybody there. Okay. So Victoria Alonso's in place in a made up position in Marvel. Everybody he left behind, Iger placed. They all have the same ideology. They all have the same thought processes. Everybody he put in place, including the person that we were talking about that Valiant kept mentioning, the diversity and inclusion officer there. And again, it's easy to replace people within organizations from the top down. You set metrics for them that makes them prove whatever it is they're trying to demonstrate. So if somebody's trying to tell you there's a better way to do business, you set up the opportunity for them to fail. The problem is when it comes to Bob Chapek, and this is something I tried to talk about in a video I did way back when, Chapek told you he set up his 3 pillars of the company, right? His 3 pillars of rope is what I called them, because they were each designed to, for him to put a noose around his neck if all of his detractors wanted to do so. We're going to do this thing, we're going to do this thing, we're going to do this thing. And, so far he's managed to find a way to start wrapping the rope around his neck. I'm just saying. So it's just, it's this weird situation you never want to get into as a leader of a company, whether it be a CEO or, a sole proprietor. You always want to have and lay out, and somebody in the chat mentioned it, specific metrics and results that are required for us to continue down this path. That's all you have to do.
Yeah. I mean, maybe Iger's planning on, I don't know, maybe Iger's planning on Chapek taking heat for something that he did. I don't know. I mean, that could be a situation.
That's all he's done.
That's what's happening.
If that's the track record, then it's pretty clear then.
But it's really easy to point it to the fact that it's Iger, including the stuff that Iger gave some really unrealistic expectations for Disney Plus, right? The global crisis kind of played into the idea that it would expand very quickly, but they're running into some huge problems. And while they may meet some of the metrics as far as the subscribers total, if you look at that as a metric that's valuable, which I don't.
Yeah, but their shows aren't getting a large chunk of those subscribers like Netflix.
They're not. And they're also suffering from something called ARPU. the average revenue per user is very low because the majority of the subscriber base now is coming from foreign countries where they are offering the service for a very low amount compared to what it earns in the United States per the dollar.
In India, it was the equivalent of $1.30 US.
Yeah, actually, and it fluctuated as low as 70 cents US in India as well. Yeah, you're 100% right there, Grant. Yeah. See, it's weird. We're in a weird place. We're in a weird place.
The only reason why I know that is because that's where I set my VPN to when I was subscribed to them.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
it's weird.
I mean, I've been hard on Chapek, and I'm in agreement with Gary when, you know, like all those people are like, well, if you don't do this, we're gonna walk out. I'd have been like, well, bye. Much. That would have been me, but.
Well, and you see, if people walk out that way, you save yourself a lot of grievance, golden
you
parachutes.
Do, but what you don't get is this.
Boycott Disney! 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 Boycott Disney!
There's your fucking metric right there.
You're not wrong, but if he planned for that, he's
I don't think that was his planning. Yeah, because that's
No, I don't think it really. You can't plan that, right?
Wait, what are you talking about, Coach? You didn't plan for that.
That's what I'm saying.
Plan that. That's what I'm. That's why.
No, but he can plan. He can plan a leak.
No, he can. Oh, and I know he did.
What are you saying then?
Several times. No, I'm just saying he didn't plan for that. The thing we just watched, he's more of a shark than either of us anticipate, but I don't think he is. I think you're right, Mike. I think your assessment was correct. I think
he's a freshwater fish who just grew some.
Guy, right? He is a fish that he is flopping around on the. He's out of the tank and he's flopping around on the fucking table. Is what's happening. What's happening. And while he is a great chess player, he's out of his element. He's playing fucking like HAL 9000 before the software went to shit.
I agree with you. He's a freshwater fish who needs to learn to grow some teeth really goddamn quick, or he's not going to last long in this pond.
Yep.
I want to have faith in the guy. I've had a lot of faith in the guy. I've talked him up, even though he, you know, a lot of people hated him from the park side of things, but I could tell there was, you know, this contingent against him or whatever you want to call it inside. And, you know, I've been rooting for him. He's been making a lot of the right moves, but like that article just pointed out, the one thing it was right about was, you know, a lot of this other stuff that he's done that was right is being overshadowed by all this other bullshit. They weren't wrong about that aspect of it.
No, it's not wrong. But
my biggest fear is that he doesn't have anyone to advise him how to execute. You know, Stephanie Janicek called this early on that this was going to be a political fight, and which I hoped it wouldn't become because I was worried since he is an accountant. But he doesn't. I'm afraid when I look at the people that are on the board and on all that shit, I'm afraid that he doesn't have the right advisors. So Susan Arnold is no black belt either in PR either.
No, he needs somebody who's basically a political advisor, I would say.
That's exactly what he needs, because that's what this is. This is a political, and it always has been. But, you know, here, I don't know.
Well, let's do some super chats, and then maybe Gary will have something fun to show us. Anyway, Culture, go ahead and finish your thought.
No, all I was going to say is Susan Arnold's supposed to be his advocate and his ally here, and she's from the community that they're concerned about. So how come she's not helping him out is my question.
But she has no idea what she's doing. This is my whole point. They have no idea what they're doing. This is a political PR battle, and they have no idea what to do, of when to say, who to talk, and when to talk.
No,
and she's also from that community. What is she going to say? She's the last person who should open her mouth right now.
Well, we have a clear idea of what's going on here, right? First of all, we know now Iger was not a fan of Chapek to begin with, but now we clearly see why. Because Chapek was not going to run the company Iger did, the way Iger did. And that's what Iger wanted. And we're seeing that that's where this resistance came from. And all these people were talking to Iger like he was still daddy of the company, undermining Chapek the whole time. So I was hoping he would just kind of keep the course, keep doing what he's doing. And then when the, you know, time is right for his renewal, he can just simply point out, look, I have not had 3 years to do my job. I was contracted for 3 years. I've only been able to do my job for 12 plus months.
Yeah. Well,
I think I mean, and I don't think he may not have any legal ground to stand on, but he might, you know, stop and think about that for a minute.
Not just that his time that he was there was unprecedented things going on in the world. So there's all that on top of it as well. So
they'll be able to use that as an excuse against him as well, too, Grant. You're not wrong on the first part as well. But like, that's what I'm saying is like, this is unprecedented in general. I've never seen any, and we brought this up when it happened to begin with, when Chapek reinserted himself. We have never seen anything like that in a company before. Maybe outside of an owner in the past, but that's like maybe a retired owner coming back.
Well, like a founder, like when the founder
exactly like
company,
a founder, exactly,
yeah, or they go public and that kind of shit. Yeah. This
exactly,
is truly a parallel. I remember one of Culture's live streams when he talked about, or maybe it was one of his videos, but when Culture was talking about all the interviews that Iger has done, and Iger's just this guy, like, look, motherfucker, you were done on January 1st. So what did he do? 3 months before and up to 3 months after, this motherfucking piece of shit, Iger, is on a speaking tour on CNBC. I mean, the guy's hit every single network multiple times and looking for shit to talk about. As recently as I think he did Jon Stewart 2 weeks ago or a week ago.
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. And here's the thing, and everybody knows the guy wanted to go into politics. That was his plan, right? That was going to be his soft landing, is to try to find his way into the president of the United States gig. That's what he wanted to do. Whether or not people believe it or not.
You think he's ramping back up for that?
He can't do it. Nobody's going to buy this dude.
I don't think they will, but
yeah. But back
go
then,
as good as Bloomberg.
Prior to Global Crisis, prior to the early launch of Global Crisis, he had a chance. Now, I don't think so. He's been too exposed. He's very divisive. He's done some interviews that have kind of held, you can pretty much feel where the guy's coming from. Yeah, Uncle Bob Iger's been a bad dude, but it is what it is. Anyway, we got super chats up galore.
Yeah, and to go back to the one we had before Lightsaber. Yeah, to answer your question at least the best we can, I think that the basically what we came to with that was Chapek was the one who probably said yes, go ahead, but we could never know who actually leaked it. But I would say that's the more important part. And then Rave Girl says the rant from Mike just gave me life. Hell yeah! Well, glad to hear that, Rave Girl. Then we got D-Bud Martin, who says this is really for MEAD Radio. Oh well, thank you, D-Bud. He says I don't have PayPal. The best pirate radio on YouTube. Well, thank you. Subscribe to it, people. Also, shameless plug. You can see me on Pablo and Nick's comic shop tomorrow night. Oh, cool. Cool. One of these days, I got to hop into one of those. We'll do some. Nick, let me know if you ever do any Ninja Turtle ones or something like that. Yeah. Or what are you guys talking about?
We will be doing one coming up in 2 or 3 weeks with the Last Ronin, the final part of that. So.
Oh, I haven't got the last one yet. I got to get that. I'll try and read it then. Then DS Ford sends Mikey some drink money. Here you go, Mikey. Drink on me. Cheers, he says.
Woohoo!
Well, that's a shot. Thank you, DS Ford.
It's like a double shot.
If I had a shot glass here, I'd do a shot.
In California, it might be a half a shot.
It's half a shot in California. That's
Emerald Sales. Yeah, says Disney is garbage itself. Go to Legoland instead. Burn Disney. Burn. Yeah. Well, what happens when Nintendo Land or whatever opens up? Culture.
Dude, Epic Universe. I was talking about this with Valiant at the very beginning of the show.
That is going to
Universal has the chance to just keep pulling market share like a maniac now. They are building additional hotel properties. They have Epic Universe in the process of construction, which is going to include Nintendo Land. This place is going to ring the bell in Florida. I think they're going to continue to capture more market share. Look at what they did. They grabbed a bunch of Disney Imagineers. They built out Harry Potter. Right? They built out Harry Potter in a way that made J.K. Rowling just, gush. And they've done it twice now in 2 different places. Their third thing is being added in Florida. It's called the Ministry of Magic. That's being built right now. So in 2 years, you'll be able to hang out at Epic Universe, or so 2 years or so. It depends. Lots of construction weirdness going on right now. But 2 years or so, you're going to be able to hang out in Epic Universe, go to Nintendo Land, check out the Ministry of Magic. You will be thrilled. And they're working on a secret transportation system from what I'm being told. So there you go.
Yeah, I think that's
assuming that they keep it quiet within, and they don't go public with any of this sort of garbage. I think they're absolutely going to be the dominant force in Florida for sure.
So when I asked earlier, Gary, you had said something about the ride. So you said you didn't work on that one, but does that mean you worked on rides before, or you were just saying that because it's a ride too?
Oh no, I never worked on any of the rides.
Or any
I mean, some of the rides were updated with the stuff from the movie.
Okay.
And some of that stuff I worked on.
Oh, okay, cool.
I didn't work on the.
I was just curious because the way you said it, I thought maybe it was like, oh, you have worked on other rides, just not that one. Or one at Disney.
that would be cool. I would have loved to work on some of those older rides because some of that stuff's been there for 50 years.
Or Universal and shit like that. Yeah.
Oh, I have a lot of Universal stuff.
I was gonna say, I know, and then considering the thing you sent me, that's another thing that kind of made me ask it. But on that note, is there anything you may have hiding around there that you want to talk about, or something you got a cool story about? One of your little props there. You always have something cool.
I have this.
What we got?
You guys,
it's like an ashtray.
It's the ashtray from Creepshow.
Ah, I remember you showing that.
Holy cow.
Yeah, it's a casting. It's not.
And I remember the significance of this, though. Now, yeah, but go ahead, please.
Yeah, it's kind of the it's the. I guess you could say it's kind of the well, it's not really a MacGuffin. It's the prop that strings a thread throughout all the stories in the movie.
It's in the background somewhere in each.
Yeah, exactly. It's in the first one. You know, the dad gets his head smashed in with it, and then it's kind of in the rest of the movie, which I thought was kind of neat. But I've been looking for one of these for a long time, and I was lucky to get a casting of it because the original is privately owned. I think it was autographed by George Romero too.
Oh wow,
the original. So that's not going anywhere. Also,
sadly, he's no longer with us. So yeah,
right.
Oh, I got something. All I seen is
a
couple of wavy lines.
Ooh. All right. So which one is this, Tom?
Circle.
Close.
Wavy lines.
But definitely wrong. Burn. No, so the way that these work, this is very interesting. These are tricks.
Have them in a specific order.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen how these work, but if you look at the amount of birds on the side of the card, it will tell you, gives you an indication of which one it is. So that's how they work.
So when he says that in Ghostbusters Afterlife, that wasn't just an addition there. That was serious. He actually did have them marked.
Yeah, they are marked.
Oh, wow. That's cool. I didn't know that.
And these are...
hey, Sean.
Yeah, they're of that vintage era, so they're probably the same, the same off-the-shelf product.
That's really fucking cool.
Yeah, they actually came from a magic shop. It's just a trick, and I'm sure that's where they picked it. That's where the prop department picked them up. But you can read them. You can read them from the front, which is kind of interesting.
That's fucking awesome. Yeah. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then I guess I could show you guys the old
I got
picture of Captain.
Oh, that is so cool.
Yes. There we go. Yeah, I got
read.
I got a scan of the original.
That is sweet.
So, yeah. By the way, I meant to tell you, I sent a little package out to you today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's the stuff for Andre, and I threw something else in there for you too.
Cool beans, awesome sauce. Yeah. I got a few things collecting for Andre here, so hopefully I get to see him soon. But that's awesome. Thank you again for that. And
yeah, you're welcome.
Really cool show and tell as always.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's the RC car you got up there? Just a regular one, or is that from?
It's like a Bronco.
Is it from anything specific, or is
it's just like my dad likes the RC cars, so we build them, and he likes to drive them around. So
gotcha.
Fun little father-son thing to do.
That's cool. That's cool. I love your collection though. It's awesome when you get to come on and show us something fun.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot new this week, but I've got more boxes to go through, and each week I go through this stuff and I dig up more fun stuff. I did find, let's see, it's not really prop related. Well, I don't know where it is right now, but I'll have to show you guys later. It's just interesting, but I'll show it to you later.
Hey, Gary, I don't know if anybody's ever asked you this. How many Bruckheimer projects did you work on?
Let's see. National Treasure 2 was being shot at the same time as one of the Pirates movies.
Yeah.
And that's why the treasure coins, some of the props were the same. So I worked on actually both movies. I only got credit for one. But there was this giant set that I helped construct. It was actually at the same time they're shooting Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. They were shooting at Universal.
Right.
And it was a giant set, and it was on a giant like a giant metal frame, and it was all fiberglass, and it was designed to be lowered into the water tank to give the impression that the water was rising in the set, and then they could just bring it back up. But at the same time when I was working on that, there was some Soviet vehicle there. It was that amphibious craft that the Indiana Jones crew were going down the waterfalls in. And at the time, I had no idea, but
Wow.
I would have at least got a picture of it. But fuck that movie. So
in hindsight, yeah, it's like one of those
right.
things.
I know you're kind of excited about it in the moment, and then after you see the movie in the theater, you're like,
you're better off, kid.
Thank God I didn't get a picture of that piece of shit.
Right.
But
that's
yeah,
awesome.
I guess it would be National Treasure 2 on a technicality, and Pirates. So that would be
You'd say you're a treasure protector.
What is that?
You're a treasure protector.
Treasure liberator, yeah.
Liberator.
The only reason I got all those treasure coins is because a Disney had stiffed me for a paycheck.
Yeah, you told me that.
And the art department was they're like, oh, can you take that bucket away? And I'm like, oh, you want me to haul your fucking
I can
trash
take it
away?
away.
Really? They're like, no, just take it, dude. And that's how I got it.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, I think we're caught up on the super chats. Did we miss any member chats? I didn't see any fly in, but
I didn't see a lot. If there were any, they would have been a long time ago now.
See. Oh, Steven left me one in PayPal. Let me take a look. PayPal. Hopefully you're still here, buddy. Let's see here. And thank you, Steven, and the rest of the mods who've been here tonight. I know 6 and a few others have been here. Thank you so much. And then Steven sent in one, and so did somebody else. Steven says, hail, Midnight's Edge panel, mods, and chat. Got back home in time to hear 2 rants. Wait, maybe 3. Well, we're done for now. Maybe. You might hear 4. But we never put a quota on rants. They just happen as they do. And then I'm not going to say the name of this individual who sent it in because it has their actual name on it and not a handle. But they say, because I'm angry enough at YouTube to bypass super chats. Well, thank you for that.
Wow.
Maybe you think I could use a first name? That'd be, yeah.
No, I don't know. Is it line up with somebody in our chat?
Not really that I think of.
No, then you probably don't want to.
All right. Well, then I'll just go with that. But thank you so much. You know who you are, unless you want to take credit for it in chat. I just don't want to say anybody's name. I figured maybe a first name might be pretty benign, but thank you just the same. We appreciate that. And with that, I think we're
Kenneth LaRoque just fired in a member. Did you get that? The minimum?
No, I didn't. What? It is a minimum effort puppy for the last 10 months. Thank you so much, Kenneth LaRoque.
Nice work.
Yeah, you put the minimum effort in. Let's get everybody a minimum effort puppy. I don't know if Gary's ever seen the minimum effort puppy. We've got several puppy levels. We have minimum effort.
He's cute.
Yeah, it's more effort than Bambino.
Minimal effort.
That dog's put more
Just
effort into
minimal.
that treadmill than Bambino ever puts into his walkie time.
And this one doesn't have a level, but this is just in case, but we got lazy puppies.
So you say lazy, I say smart.
You're not wrong.
I say stop taking videos of Mexican Iron Man going around the house.
I say Australian puppy. That's what I say. Australian.
And then this is the cutest one, of course. Sleepy. That always makes the toxic femme girls go, "Aww."
Where did that come from?
That's been there. It's one I pull out rarely. Then we got bored corgi, of course, when things get boring.
Now that right there is Bambino action shot, freaking guy.
And then whenever there's a great performance we talk about, we got Oscar puppy.
Milk it.
He really gets into it. See, he really gets like the head and everything. He just throws it in there.
What a ham.
And then we got 2 maximum effort puppies because, if you're going to be maximum effort, you deserve it, right? So we've got this one, of course, which is Journey. Driving Away. That's a maximum effort puppy. And then this is Mikey's favorite maximum effort puppy.
Go.
This little guy. Little beagle puppy.
Come on. Pull up. There you go.
You just root for him, right? Done. You're just like, and strut. And that's the puppy brigade. There you go.
Got them all.
Right.
You got them all.
Yeah. So you guys got the full range of the puppies.
You got the full Monty.
Oh, we could do a Fenton. We hadn't done a Fenton in a while. I do have a Fenton. this is an old video, kids.
Jesus Christ! Benton! Oh, Jesus Christ! Benton!
It's actually
I
audio.
love that one.
It's actually that fucking dog is like, "Fuck you, sea dogs."
Yeah, that dog jumped over and told him get a fucking job, and they all took off.
That's misaligned audio too, because that audio is from something that's not.
That is from a completely different video,
Yeah.
but it works so much better in that video.
I think it's the one where they're chasing all the deer.
Yeah, it's the deer dog. Yeah, the deer dog one. Yeah. The actual Fenton's chasing a deer. That's what it is. Yeah. But that is just the boss dog there. He's like, "Fuck you! Get away, sea dogs!"
DS Ford's in the chat screaming for a request.
Oh, what's DS
What is
Ford?
that? DS Ford. Where are we at?
That's weird. He's not on our dashboard.
Yeah. What the hell?
Where are you at?
Not showing up in the dashboard here.
But it's on the live stream. That's
what does it say?
He wants and I knew it. I freaking knew it.
Oh,
okay.
We can do that. We can always do that.
What?
Oh, that's the wrong one.
Close.
So then there's this one. This is my other new favorite.
Uh-oh,
And then, of course,
I fucking knew it! Oh!
Now, that's the guy I want to hire for my Western horror sci-fi.
Walton Goggins is
Walton
a god.
Goggins?
That guy's a
awesome.
genius.
He's
That guy
fucking
is
awesome.
a fucking genius. You want to talk about a talented actor,
Right?
I want him badly. First of all, because
I've not heard one person ever say he's a bad actor. Not one.
No, that guy. That guy's had an incredible career,
and
He had a very interesting role in Sons of Anarchy as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And he's about to get boned in a terrible project called Fallout.
Oh.
What?
Carrie's like,
he's on the new Danny McBride show right now. They're doing in South Carolina, and that show's hysterical, and he is great in it.
What show is that? I
He's
didn't know
incredible.
Righteous Gemstones.
Oh, people keep telling me to check that one.
Check it out, man.
I didn't know he was even.
It's wild. It's
Yeah.
really interesting. It's like Goodfellas in the evangelical world.
yeah,
It's
sold it.
really good.
Really
Yeah.
good fellas?
So it's really good, fellas. Yeah.
Yeah.
not really, but yeah.
Hey, I'm sold.
Yeah.
You'll
Check
like
it out.
Tom. You'll
And
like
he's
We'll
in
check it
it.
out when
He
it's
is
yeah.
so good. He's really good.
Goggins genius, dude. I'm telling you though that if I had a giant budget, he'd be like the guy I would hire. He'd be so good. He's so
Yeah. Super great.
House Atreides says, "Hail all! I was watching the podcast. They build Star Trek: Strange New Worlds is getting back to what fans want.
No,
That CBS has been listening. I laughed too. Your thoughts? The podcast, huh? I can see how those guys could see that from what they're seeing, and I know there was that push from what I heard from Akiva Goldsman to kind of do a classic style Trek show, but I also heard Kurtzman came in and took it over. So
it's
Yeah,
gonna
them-
suck, and I don't care. It's
Culture
gonna
wants to say something.
suck,
Go ahead.
and I
no,
don't
I really don't. I
It's
mean,
then I'll sing. It's gonna suck, and I don't care. It's gonna
okay,
suck.
I've been burnt that many times that I'm not put my hand in the fire.
Yep.
it's gonna be terrible. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this
I
out.
will say this. Yeah, they've
But they
said
would
that
need a few on the show.
before every season of Discovery that it was going to go back to the classic Trek. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, oh no, we have this great animated show. It really harkens back to the classic Trek, and then we get Upper Decker, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
that
there's
doesn't
that,
work.
and then
for me.
Then we get
Picard.
episode 5 with the orgy, because that's what I
Picard.
remember from my original Trek.
Yeah, the
Oh.
fucking orgy episode. That was amazing. My thoughts are Trek
No.
is fucking dead. Until Kurtzman's out the goddamn door, Trek is dead.
I don't even think it's just him, man. It's anybody like affiliated. Look, if you are
Just
part of
get rid of all the bad reboot people.
yeah, exactly. If you're part of JJ's tree, right? If you're part of that tree, you are poison fruit.
Pretty much.
Sorry.
Okay, here's what's going on in the background. These guys are watching Picard, like Paulie, Steven,
I don't
Culture.
tell everybody that.
Who else is involved in this?
Trek.
Captain Trek.
Correct a member, deleted scenes one of our
Okay,
moms.
I'm gonna read. I don't give a fuck. Earlier today,
did you watch
Steven
it?
says, I was wondering when will we be shooting the next episode? My work schedule may change, and I want to make sure I can be on. I said, I don't care when you shoot it, be sure it's in the head.
That's right.
It's the only way to be sure it's dead.
That was in our group chat.
That is the proper answer.
I know people who do work for Paramount, so it's just sad.
I don't think Steven minds me sharing that. It was just a quick little quip.
God, that show is bad. Mike, did you watch any of that yet? Did you see our suffering?
No, I haven't seen your suffering because I've been busy doing tax returns and suffering with clients, including the client I hired
he's
today.
been busy as fuck.
Mikey, I know that wasn't
Poor guy.
That wasn't a shot, bro. So we're gonna watch the second episode Sunday, maybe a third. I feel like I'm gonna donate kidneys at this point because by the time we get to the third, I already warned Polly. I'm like,
fourth and fifth is where it really goes off the rails.
But
you guys aren't even at the good part yet. I've seen all these already. I've seen the whole first season.
Oh, Mikey. Oh.
You haven't seen the whole first season?
I stopped at the end of season 3.
Yeah, I'll watch you guys on Sunday. I'll keep the taping going. By the way, thank you very much to you and everybody for finally getting that done. Because after 6-7 months of trying, I was about ready to give up.
I'm getting it done. I'm gonna keep
you're a gentleman and a scholar, culture casino.
Speaking of checking if things are gonna fail or succeed, I have a feeling Andre's using this as testing ground to see whether or not he's gonna force my ass to watch season 2.
You're gonna hate it.
I've already started watching season 2 of Picard.
Oh Lord, I haven't even.
I've been watching it.
You could just
I've been watching
punch yourself in the dick repeatedly.
Yes, punch yourself in the dick.
I didn't see the last episode, or did I? Wait, no, I did. When does the next one come out? Today?
I think so, something like that.
Yeah, I haven't seen this week's, but I saw the first 4.
I wasted my time watching the second episode of Moon Knight.
Don't do it. I heard that's where they firmly establish that that's a manzel in a dress.
Yeah, it's a woman's world. The whole point of making Steven, instead of being a billionaire to this wimpy thing, is so
I can't disagree with that, but it's a bit more nuanced. But yeah, I don't know where
it
it's
looked good.
Go.
It's a good-looking episode. I'll give it that.
It was better and worse than the first episode at the same time. I don't know how that's possible.
And I haven't seen it yet, nor will I. I am done with Disney.
Yeah, at this point, I don't really give a fuck.
Yeah, I mean, outside of something that I promised I would do something for somebody else, I'm done with Disney for a while.
Vincent Santianello, if I'm saying that right, I know I say it wrong, says Disney's situation is beyond ridiculous. Why aren't they happy with just money? That's my point I was getting to. Like, let's just get back to when they were just trying to take our fucking money.
Are you
instead of our souls?
Are you trying to say Vincenzo Santianello?
Shut the fuck up, just because you could talk like a person.
I mean, I wasn't going to say anything, but culture called it out. It's Vincenzo Santianello.
Yeah, he always does it better than me.
Because he does it with the Italian thing.
He does it. Well, I can do it.
Yeah,
if I feel like if I'm doing it, I'm going to get yelled at. Vincenzo. I could, actually, you know what I should do?
Do it again. Pull out your best Travolta. I think you'll nail it.
No.
Oh God, this is bad.
No. We're not doing Travolta. Vincenzo, my friend, my very good friend. I've never meant any disrespect to you. Why is there a fucking alarm clock going off in the middle of my show? Fucking Christ. That's because that Thursday thing's starting here pretty soon. So that means we got to wrap this up.
I'm supposed to
Vincenzo, my brother, my friend. If there's anything you ever need from me, you just let me know. But I will call on you for a favor. So be ready.
Vincenzo, my brother.
It could very well be to scratch my nuts. I'm just warning you now. Sometimes it's hard to reach. You know, down there in the crevice of the taint. Is that what it's called? The taint? I heard it was called the taint because it taint your balls and it ain't your ass. Get it? I'll be here all week, kids.
You are older than me.
That is the Godfather, or Tom Father, as people have been calling it. Thank you for that, Vincenzo. I don't mean to offend. Mecha J says Gina Carano has been invited to appear at a con, and no one's surprised the mob is trying to get her kicked out. Yes, I saw this earlier. I didn't want to give it too much.
Don't give it
air right yet.
Yeah, because I feel like that's going to go down in a bad way for the wokey wokes that are trying to cause
If it
trouble.
does, I can just say this: we need to have an equal reaction to the Disney thing.
Yeah,
we need to get out there and protest. And
I'm happy to
cancel
do it.
your tickets, do whatever you got to do to
look. If I'm flying someplace anyway, and you do something stupid, you know what? I'm here. So I got a hotel room, and all I got is time. And since I'm not going to panels, I'm going to be outside your doorway talking about how stupid you are. Sound like fun?
Yeah, I appreciate the super chat here, Mecca J, but I'm going to say this, and I hope you don't take this the wrong way at all. I hope that we never talk about this again. I hope it goes away quietly. I hope you understand what I mean by that.
He does, Mecca J.
I think so. I just want to make sure that there's no, like, you know, what is he just trying to dismiss me? No, not at all. I just hope it goes away, because that means they're just like, fuck those idiots who want to get rid of her. Like, and I hope that nothing happens, because if we talk about it, then that means they cancel her. That's what I'm getting at.
What we want to do is have what's going to happen in Orlando and Dallas happen in Denver, and then we're good. So, but Toxic Man Flu, no.
Fuck you. I want to watch Godfather 3. I like Godfather 3.
Fucking
just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in.
Yeah, except for Tom.
Oh, wrong one.
It was the worst. It was the worst.
She had a great ass.
You know what? Devil's Advocate is an underappreciated
world class ass.
I'm feeling awkward right now.
Hooah. Oh, hang on.
Now can you say it again, Tom? Do it the right way.
Yes, I can say it this way. Vincenzo Santanello. I love you, my friend. He's disappointed, though. He's disappointed at Disney and the shareholder there. He's a shareholder there. Oh, my goodness. Rather give you guys the money for a better return. Well, hopefully you can sell your shares at a time where you can make good money on it. And it was a good investment. You know what I'm saying? Then you can bet it on a horse. Ask me. I know a few good horses that have their heads. They're not dead.
They're not in the bed.
You could also invest in a rabbit chicken franchise.
Yeah, there's this thing that this kid's pushing over here that's got these stupid. I don't know what they ain't got no heads.
They're great maze finders, though. My God,
they ain't got no butts. They don't poop.
More than I can say for Bambino.
I don't know how they live, but I find it fascinating. But with that, I just must bid you adieu and say thank you.
Thank you. Don Corleone. Nikki D says, do you think Disney will drop a new trailer for Kenobi or Thor 4 in order to redirect bad press from the reimagined tomorrow bids? That's a good question, Nikki, and I wish I would have saved the one article, because there was when this day started out, there wasn't shit for stories, really. I didn't know about a lot of this stuff until this blew up. But one of the stories I was going to cover was a bunch of their excuses, or at least one of the media's excuses why we hadn't got a Thor 4 trailer yet. But you know what? I wouldn't put it past them, Nikki D. What do you guys think? Gary, let's start with you. Do you think they do something like that right now?
Well, yeah, it's possible, but I've got this theory that they're receiving funds other than people who are buying tickets.
You are not wrong.
I really do. I know for a fact that there's
a dark colored stone. There's a few countries.
Yeah, there was a certain country that gave Imagine Entertainment $100 million in investment money in order to have his name attached to Solo to try to save it, and then he just basically cashed out and walked away and took that money. So I know right there, that's direct information from somebody else.
It wouldn't be the person who, same person that I said was going to sell his company and just put it up for sale here recently too.
I think you might be onto something.
Probably.
Imagine Entertainment. Yeah.
I mean, they could do it, but that's the thing, we'll know if everybody canceled Disney and they're still getting money. We're gonna know something's really up, Well, that's gonna be stinky,
But we actually know where the money's coming from. I mean, we can all talk about, there's this particular street that is in a given state. There's a very dark colored rock out there. You've got some,
stone, dark colored stone.
Stone. I'm sorry. I'm using the actual.
When you guys start talking like that, I get lost. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's about Sesame Street, Mike.
Plymouth Rock.
Yeah, we're talking about like large capital holders that own stuff and things like
with a lot of
white stone.
They might have investments in China that are about to tank hard in real estate. Well, I can't
say it out loud.
I will neither confirm nor deny.
Why? They're a publicly traded investment fund. Why can't I say their name out loud?
Because it's the same reason we don't say the gay mafia. Oh shit!
Yeah.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Don't say it.
We're in this weird place where like Tom has code words now for the gay BCs.
Right? Oh, gay BCs.
Culture, all due respect, you have a ton of code words. I watch all your videos and I see all your live streams. And like I have to replay them like twice sometimes. I'm like, wait, is he talking about the
I have to be so careful. Do you realize I'm walking this
like he's talking about the tortilla sauce? No, it's tapatio or jalapeno. No. Oh wait. No, he meant sriracha.
I have to be careful, Mikey. You know what it's like, and plus, it's fun. Everybody gets to like catch the double entendres.
It's like playing Scrabble or a crossword puzzle.
Yeah,
Goddess of Women is not wrong here. Yeah, release a Thor 4 trailer with Jane as Thor. That'll take the attention away from this. You're not wrong.
Dude, let me tell you right now, we all know how the story's supposed to end, and I'm happy. It's like, look, I think cancer sucks, but
yeah, I'm rooting for the cancer too.
I didn't have a problem with this deal. I was actually I'm going to sit and wait and see kind of guy because I actually am one of the few people who loved Ragnarok. I've loved almost every Taika Waititi thing I've ever seen. No matter how stupid he comes off on fucking social media, I can't deny the fact that he, for the most part, from everything I've seen, again, asterisk, because I haven't seen everything he's done, but from what I have, I've enjoyed. And I was willing to go ahead.
I was going to say, and the run that they're doing with the Almighty Thor and everything, that wasn't a terrible run with the Jane Foster thing. It ended terribly, but for the most part, it was a solid series. So if they're going to base it off that, it has potential to be better.
Yeah, I mean, here's my thing, though. I was willing to give it a shot, but then I saw the figures that leaked. Did you guys all see these? I think we talked about them on here. But
yeah, even her figure couldn't hold up the hammer. It was that weak.
Well, not just that, but the names on the figures. There was Thor. And Mighty
he's no longer called Thor. Yeah.
She was called the Mighty Thor. That pissed me off. That bothered me.
Yep.
I mean, they're not even married, so why is she taking his name?
Oh my God! Look at Snowdub. He's like putting up culturisms. We could do a whole.
That is very misogynistic too. You're right.
We could do a whole show on culturisms. You're not wrong. That's another one.
You're not wrong.
You're not wrong.
What's another one? And again, you say that a lot.
And again.
And again. And again. You're not wrong. Oh, I can put them all in a sentence together. And again, you're not wrong.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing. Again, you're not wrong.
Here's the thing. Wait. Hold on. Okay, let's keep going. Let's mad lib this thing. Okay. Here we go. Okay. I'm gonna go and someone jumps in. Okay. And again, Gary, you're not wrong.
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing. Okay, Gary, you want to
go? Stop it. No.
Oh.
Hey, Gary,
he just does that to me. Never mind.
Oh, he says, "Hold on, the boss is talking to me. I'll be right back."
Well, I'll say bologna sausage. That's bologna sausage.
What does he mean boss is talking to him? He better be talking about the dog.
No, the boss.
It's about his wife, for God's sake.
Whose boss?
His boss, the boss.
Oh, I thought it was Mike who said that. I'm like, Mike don't have a boss.
No, I don't have a boss. No one tells me shit.
You sounded like Mike. That was my bad.
And then you got to do the air quotes.
I fired a client today.
That's the most important thing, Mike. You got to do the air quotes with your hands whenever you're doing a culturism.
Oh, that's right. Hold on. Let me do one. Hold on. Let's hold on. Oh, my camera's not working. Fuck.
He's in the dark.
Oh, damn it. My camera's not working.
What is he trying to do?
That is stupid.
I'm doing the air quotes.
That's stupid with extra cheese, bro. I'm just saying.
What? I've never heard you say that.
Dude, I have so many. It's bad. I get called on them all the time.
God, poor Grant's got to edit all those. Like, oh, he said that again.
Oh, we forgot bologna sausage. That's a good one.
Bologna sausage.
Yeah. Bologna sausage.
Lucky there's not like an innuendo or a word kind of like that. Otherwise, I'd be editing all night.
Yes, I know you guys make fun of me for saying Spider-Man. The way I do.
Why do you say it that way? I've never heard you say it that way. Why do you say it?
Spider-Man?
It's a joke, right? No, say it. Wait, what?
Spider-Man.
No. Wait, what? No, Spider-Man.
That's what I said. Spider-Man.
No.
It's man.
It is ma'am.
You just said Spider-Man. like
M-A-M-A-M. There was an N there.
Spider-Man.
Why are you so mean to me? I swear to God.
I love you. You know I love you. You know, oh, come on. Oh, there he goes. Now he's feeling attacked.
Darren Muth is in the house and says, nothing much to say on the Disney drama. Hope you guys have a wonderful night and can't wait for tomorrow's stream, Tom. Peace and love to you all. Yes, tomorrow we have Paul Chato coming on the morning show. Can't wait to talk to him.
Oh, man, I've deep dived his channel loads in the last
He's
month.
awesome. He's hilarious. Yeah. He's like that, almost like that in real life. Like that's pretty much him. He's really cool. But yeah, that's tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central, only on Midnight's Edge.
I say we break into the place, trash the office, and make off with the records and say it was industrial espionage.